Yeah, dude. And I haven't officially had you on the show yet. I mean, you came out and did the pod with Taylor that time.
Yeah. Which was rad.
Yeah, it was a good time. But like, I figured it'd be fun to do like a deeper dive into like how you kind of ushered into motorcycles and this position and all this type of stuff that you're at.
Yeah, dude, of course. Well, there's a common friendship here with Taylor, and then I met Taylor through doing the Law Tiger gig. I guess going on probably about 1.5 years at this point.
Yeah.
And I've been doing the Law Tiger thing for, I hit 4 years in November.
Damn, it's that long already?
Dude, it's flown by, and that old saying, time flies when you're having fun. I mean,
yeah,
that one totally applies to this one, dude. It's been sweet.
That's cool.
It's a really cool gig, and I'm very fortunate to get to do it. So,
like, where does this desire to ride bikes come from? Did it come after the job or before the job?
It was, couldn't say that it existed as such or formally before the job. I was always into like stuff that was like kind of Harley specific, but adjacent to, like, you know, you're into punk rock, ride a skateboard. It's like, it's not if, it's when kind of thing, you know? And just alternative culture like that, like counterculture stuff. Like it was a lot of the ingredients were there. And 4 years ago, but before it became a thing, when the opportunity, like right around the time that the opportunity for the job was a possibility, like a close friend of mine had just gotten a bike, and it's like, okay, this is first strike, we'll call it. And like I was doing this gig where I had gone out of Whole Foods. I did like 7 years at Whole Foods working in the grocery world, and then I got out and did this retail support gig. So I would go see different grocery stores and try to like check in on products that we were managing and like try to sell stuff in and out. And one of the dudes I met, he was one of the dairy buyers at this local grocery store. As my friend Ref gets his bike, like almost immediately after the second strike, is this dude, oh yeah, I build custom Honda Shadows. I'm like, what? No way, dude. Like, yeah, check it out. And like, oh, these little custom bikes. And like, it was so cool, right? My buddy did this 300 Rebel, like now Honda Shadow. It's custom. It's like, oh, okay. So it started to generate excitement. And then the third strike, we'll call it again. My buddy Rick Ortiz, family friends, known me since I was a kid. He had some involvement with the previous marketing manager here in San Diego. He worked in dealerships and did graphic design, and was doing graphic design for Law Tigers. And so he was aware that they were looking for someone in San Diego. He hits me up out of the blue one day, and it's like, hey, dude, this is. I think you'd be good at this. I think you can do it. And it just kind of got me all excited, right? And one of the requirements was for me to start writing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
from when I applied to the Indeed position, and by the way, I was like not the candidate on paper. Like I didn't have any of the qualifications that they were looking for, including like a motorcycle endorsement, you know, like a license. So it happened quickly, but as soon as it was official and we were gonna do this, like it's been it, you know.
Yeah. Do you feel like because it became your job, you were able to kind of like dive deeper, more involved in it, and like make it like almost your world, almost? Maybe. Do you think?
I never thought about it in like. It helped that like especially in hindsight that I didn't know anything. I didn't know much about motorcycles. Period. It helped that I kind of knew myself a little bit and what I would gravitate to naturally without any like
too much influence.
Too much outside influence. That's helped, and then being like again like green as can be. I think naturally played into my favor because there was like the people who were willing to share and connect, like found that, I don't know, like maybe charming or something. Like there was a quality there to like allow a lot of these folks to open up and like be welcoming, you know?
I think it goes back to what I've kind of said before. I think everybody likes a student. You know,
that's a great point to connect to, And
when you come in as a student, I think people are more receptive to open up and help and show the ropes versus if you come in like with some sort of ego, you know, like based on your age or whatever, or what you used to do.
Yeah.
Or, like if you just come in as a green student, I think most people are like, oh, let me show you the ropes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it definitely happened. I mean, not as much as you think it did, but it did enough to where like it was encouraging and inviting and allowed me to be curious and like ask silly questions and like,
Yeah.
oh, you only work on Harleys here? Like I have a shadow. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, is he being mean or like there's humor here? It's not connecting, you know?
Yeah.
And it just like a whole new world that's wide open and like it was quickly that I kind of gravitated to something, and then that's what like developing the role myself, like it's like all of it has grown. You know?
Yeah, I wonder how much of that also has come into play with your role within Law Tigers to be able to maybe see this through a different lens and maybe try new things or maybe look at things in a different way, and not be like structured into what like the entire culture of motorcycles was before.
It had to, you know, and when I got hired by Bill Dow, like eternally grateful to him because he took a shot on me, you know. Again, on paper, I was not the guy, you know, but it worked out. He gave me a chance, and one of the first kind of lessons, right, as a student, as a willing student, you know, was like treat this as your own small business, you know, and it like really helped frame what it was about and how to approach it. And in previous, you know, we'll call them career paths that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the things I ran into was like, no, it's cool that you have ideas, but we need you to just run the play.
Yeah.
You know? And that was always, those were roadblocks that I hit throughout, you know, a developing human, you know, and with that lesson, I like understood that this was not going to happen here, you know? So it was wide open, and it allowed me to utilize like the basics, we'll call them, like the framework, the program itself that it's been in development, and like it's been around for years at that point, like 20 years, 21 years. So it was a lot there, and it got me to the party, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, all right, check it out. This is it. Go do it.
And you do that for a while, and then you start figuring out how you can add upon it or, you know, add your twist to it and whatnot. But what would you say is like, you know, as you start to get on a bike and you start moving around, like, how was it walking into a lot of these shops out here in San Diego, which is a mecca for motorcycling? Like, was it open arms? Did you come with a fair share of like, get the fuck out of the shop? You know, because a lot of people I think probably didn't know, they still probably don't know exactly what all Law Tigers is trying to do and provide for, you know, shops, individual, and culture.
And that in its of itself, at the end there, it's like that's a good thing, you know, because there's still room to grow. But how it went down naturally was like, I rode that shadow as much as I could. You know, that first year, put in like 10,000 miles on it, which like it's relative, you know. I thought it was a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
You know, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun, but I kind of knew I'd go find a Harley, right? And it was in the form of a Sportster. And once I like got the Sportster, and that was like a whole ordeal, but like it was like, okay, next chapter. Like it really did feel like that, because now those shops that only worked on Harleys, for example, that I had built rapport with just from asking questions and not being fucking annoying or whatever, you know, now I had something to like connect deeper, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what, I don't know, I guess going into Harleys so heavy-handedly and so intentionally, like that's been the way in. And it took, like about a year and some change, maybe right around there, a year and some change to, again, turn to the second chapter. And I don't know how deep we are chapter-wise, but it's definitely... We're moving along, you know. We've been turning pages for sure.
Yeah, I can see that, how that opens up. But man, it also goes back to like, you know, the other night we were talking about, I'm glad I got to discover deviled eggs at 40 years old. I couldn't imagine what it must be like to find something like motorcycling at you know, what were you, like mid-30s?
I was 33.
33 years old. I mean, it's kind of sick. I mean,
Dude, and I don't know, like when my birthday's in July, this all happened, like I get hired in November. I remember having the thought like 33 is gonna be sick. 33 is gonna be special. I don't know why I thought that, you know, but like I had this like,
positive outlook
thought
on it.
appeared, you know? It's like, okay, and just feeling like deep inside that it would mean something, and then in fact that happened, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's all, I think the trajectory's been good, but I mean, I would probably associate.
Sorry to interrupt. Taylor calling.
Taylor's calling.
We'll get back to Taylor, dude. Love you, bud.
I think associating, I think it's kind of easy to associate that, like, I mean, you're in a hotbed for motorcycle culture, shops, things going on a lot of different facets of motorcycling. You are, lack of a better term, you're horny for it right now, you know? And then you have this job that has you waking up every day thinking about how to better your position in that job, in the thing that you just found that you love to do.
Yeah.
You know?
It's been the opportunity that keeps on giving, you know? And a few years in, I picked up some momentum, like I had ideas, shared ideas, developed ideas, like it's moving, man. And we got some momentum, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. And
yeah. What, like, did you always feel like you were going to gravitate more towards like the chopper stuff and more of the FXR world and things like that, or was that just?
Honestly, I didn't even have time to think about it. Like it kind of just happened. Like, you know, the Shadow was cool, and it was having like a custom bike from the get, so it, I guess, automatically threw me into that side of things, you know, and with the Harley, it just opens up way wider.
Yeah.
And the Sportster was a great platform to explore, you know. Aesthetically, they're again, the things that I now compare that or assess that were adjacent to Harleys or whatever were already there. I came into the situation with those with that flavor, you know, or that you know, looking for that taste, you know. But it wasn't like a conscious decision. Let me take a scan, and I think we'll start with choppers, you know.
Yeah.
And the FXR thing is like, I don't know why it just seemed that like FXRs are like adjacent to choppers somehow.
Yeah.
So in deepen the surge and deepen the experience, that seemed like the next move, you know?
Yeah.
Right now, I want to get into the dirt stuff just because it seems fun.
Yeah.
And then I hear that it'll make you a better rider.
Yeah.
So I want to go experience some of that and see like how that informs the continuum, you know, of fun on these machines, you know?
Yeah. You gotta be careful. You don't want to get too much too quick, because then you can kind of
get lost in the sauce.
Yeah, that burnout. Like, I mean, I feel like the slow progression can be beneficial in the fact that you really get to thoroughly enjoy the spaces you get into, the people that you get around, the bikes that you're on, learning how to work on them more. And I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't shy away. I wouldn't say don't go get on the dirt, you know, but I would just say, like, man, how far can you go on this on the street first? Or not first, but like before you, because the dirt's like a whole other discipline.
Yeah.
That I think will 100% make you a better rider. But also dodging traffic, dodging the world that's out there trying to kill you on motorcycles will tune you up pretty good too.
That's part of the skill set you're developing. Yeah, no doubt. And I don't know, it's just like, you know, and the priority of like scratching itches, like this one's been like moving up the ladder,
it's
you know?
getting up there, yeah.
We'll see. Like I've been passively looking for like the motorcycle that'll kind of like, okay, now let's get into in the dirt. But obviously it involves getting gear, and like I'd like to get into some sort of course to where like, all right, dude, you know. And I've been told several tips by people, but I want to put myself through like
in actuality.
Yeah, dude. Because I did that when I got my license, and it was tremendously helpful. Like I could have figured it out. I know how to ride a bicycle. Like I understand like shifting gears, and you know.
Yeah.
Yet, like some of the foundational things to do approaching a turn, like speed, aim, like all these things to just like internalize and then now go enjoy it.
Yeah, I would say if you do a cross-country trip and go ride in New York City, that'll probably get you like dialed in on concrete. And then,
I can see that.
you the first decision is the only one that's going to keep you alive. You know what I mean? So like, I think I was listening to the podcast you did with Taylor last year, and you were talking about this run that you had did up to like Mammoth. Is that where it was, or?
Yeah, up in that area, like up to 395 to. I always blank on the name of the city where the camp out was. It's off the 395 near the Nevada border.
Okay.
Up in that area, yeah. Our friends from Low Chris and Elise, and AJ Redbeard Leather put this thing together. This was the second annual, and how that came about with them, like the pitch or the vision was like, this is just like about riding, and we're gonna camp out. We're gonna do some like around the fire type shit, and we're gonna go ride and like connect with the machines again. And like, I mean, I'm a sucker for a fucking good romantic pitch, so I was in, but this year I did it on the FXR that I bought earlier this year. That was like a whole ordeal to get ready for, and then it was like a whole adventure,
Yeah.
My buddy Luca Gaston, I actually just met, like rebuilt the motor, but maybe we were like a week, 2 weeks out or whatever. A Street Glide shows up into his shop. It's like, I'm gonna buy this and I'm gonna rebuild it and I'm gonna ride this bike.
Oh yeah.
So we both left with break-in oil still, very little break-in miles, and we dumped the braking oil in Adelanto, which is like the town where you get off the 15 and onto the 395.
Okay, yeah.
We stopped and like did the oil change, disposed of it safely. We didn't litter it or whatever you could do when you're in a pinch or need to do or whatever.
Yeah.
And we carried on, and it was a series of small enough challenges that we dealt with, like shit coming loose and whatever, and like something. And when I was getting ready and packing, it's like, I'm gonna grab all of this hardware, put it in this bag, and
it's important, man. Like those shakedown runs are they're stressful by all means. Like you're on the first time that you're leaving all the major tools that can solve most of the problems.
Yeah.
And you're just hopefully figuring it out on the way. But like there is something about that in the process of learning this new motorcycle. It's like a first date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a first real date. Like you're around the block, that's sending her a message on Tinder.
Yeah.
However people find people these days. And then the rest of it, like that's the first date where you're gonna go out for a while and like you're gonna say this. Oh, did that land? Did it not? Did this shifter stuff, the primary, did I got that dialed in right? Did I bolt? Every bolt that you didn't take care of is gonna let you know. You know what I mean? It's visceral, man. Like I just learned what that word meant like a while back, and I use it a lot now. Yeah, describing experiences on motorcycles.
Its meaning, yeah.
So that's gonna be the word of 2026 for me. But yeah, when I was listening to you on the podcast with him, it just seemed like you were fresh coming back from that, I believe.
Yeah, it was. I don't know, all of maybe a month, 2 months went by. Yeah, it was pretty recent.
Was that your first like motorcycle trip?
No, I'd done a handful of little runs like that. I think the first official one. My buddy Ref, who I mentioned earlier, he was on the Rebel and he got his first Sportster. This would have been, I don't know, like 2-3 years ago or something. The plan was to ride up to Big Sur, and we left San Diego. The first night we were camping in Malibu, and we left fucking like at 8 o'clock on a Friday night.
Where did you camp in Malibu? In the hills?
Yeah, he had the spot is I don't know, once you get off what is it, on the 101, once you're like riding PCH, it was I don't know, maybe like an hour out.
Okay.
Up like that road, Yeah. I forget the name of the camp.
Like one of the canyons, like Malibu Canyon.
It was like a legit camping.
Okay, camp spot.
Camp spot. We kind of just marked it like okay. Is that where we're going? Yeah, that's where we're going. Okay, sick.
Yeah.
So we start riding, into the traffic, and we left late. We didn't get up there till like around midnight, past midnight, and so we pulled up to the campsite, and the ranger's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we're gonna try to get a spot here. Did you reserve anything? I don't think so, or whatever happened. So we park and we're like, okay. So what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, and we kind of start walking, and it just happened that as we're walking into the road, the first spot on the right was free, like open. So it's like, all right, let's go get the bikes. We go pitch a camp and then finish the 12-pack or 6-pack. Was it a 6-pack?
Yeah.
And spend the night there. We wake up and get back on the road and had breakfast or whatever. We ended up making it up to Cambria.
Yeah.
And again, it was a situation. Where did we stay there? This time he actually had a spot reservation. So and we got there while it was still daytime. So we had a chance to kind of like check in, pitch camp, and then go grab dinner in town, ride back in. And it turned out that our campsite neighbors were fucking rad. Like with this like couple, they were both teachers.
Yeah.
Like they had a cooler with all the drinks, and they had more snacks. You know, a few hours into the bonfire, like, dude, like, we should get some food, and they get grilling and
That's sick.
rad people. And we didn't have like much of anything. Like we shared. Like I didn't even bring a tent. We slept both in his, and that was the first trip we did that left the county lines, and
Did y'all make it up to Big Sur?
we didn't. So the next day we left Friday super late. We spent Saturday night in Cambria. So Sunday we decided, like, we could keep going, but we got to make it back because you have to work Monday or whatever. So we went up to as far as like Hearst Castle, and not knowing anything, we're like, we can probably go and ride by the castle and like look at it. No, you can't. There's like a fucking visitor center.
Yeah,
you got to pay or whatever. So found out pretty quickly, and we're like, dude, we should start heading back, And we just bombed all the way down to San Diego. Got here at night, and that kind of unlocked it,
Yeah, but as your first trip, you probably learned some stuff about that, like what to expect, how to camp out or like pack out. And I think some of the first trips like on the Google Maps, you're like, oh yeah, I can definitely make it to there by then, but you're not accounting for, like, here traffic doesn't really, it slows you down, but it doesn't affect you the same way. But those curves do,
dude.
On
the way up, so we stopped in like San Luis Obispo on the way up, and it's like, dude, he had just gotten on a car to say, like, I need to be able to talk to you, homie. So like I knew that. We found a cycle gear that was on the way, and like I installed it, hooked it up, and like that was like, oh, I'm getting off, or I'm changing lanes. Those types of things that we didn't know each other's, like, we're familiar with each other's riding style, but like on the way back from LA, we were coming down on the 101 and like hit that traffic, and now it's dark. Now we are onto the freeway and trying to merge. It's like it was clutch to have that and not like panic or get lost or whatever, But like you said, like, yes, like the more trips you goes on, you learn stuff,
Yeah, when you ride with more people, you'll learn how to anticipate stuff. Like usually, we've had the headsets with Lexan back in the day when they were around and stuff, but like me and my crew never linked our stuff. But it was more so like every time we went to a gas stop, I found the next gas stop.
Right.
So, sometimes like I would lead the pack, sometimes I'd follow the back, but when all right, we're coming up in 10 miles, I'll start moving back to the front, letting everybody know, hey, right here, and just kind of catching it. So I've always took that role because I'm like a logistics kind of person. Like I'm nerd out on maps.
And that's massive, dude. And like with us at the time, it was like, all right, do you want to lead? Yeah. Sure. And it's just two of us. So like, but like we're learning. And like you said, like you develop that, how to communicate that. Like it's coming up, like let me get back up. And like people see you like immediately move out of their mirrors. Now they're anticipating or whatever, it just kind of happens naturally. So, I mean, that just kind of comes with not just time, but with miles,
But it's like every time you go on a trip, you kind of add more skills to the tank or to the toolbox, if you will, on being able to figure out how to do it. And every once in a while, like when I get to go on a trip with someone else, like I'm a guest on their trip. Yeah. Then I'm like I'm a student again, seeing like, how they fucking do it. Yeah. There was like a black bike club called 10 Toes Down that invited me to ride to Panama Beach Bike Week, which was roughly like 800 miles from Dallas to Panama, Florida. Okay. And I had already been on a long distance trip. My first one was from Dallas to Phoenix for Arizona Bike Week back in like 2014 or something like that. Or no, 2013. Sorry.
Okay.
So that same year, I got invited to go on this trip, and I'm in a club, and I was the president of my club, but this club invited me to come out, so I'm riding with them, and I just learned a lot from these older dudes that had been traveling and how they gas stop, what time they leave to get to the place at the right time, and it's like a good time management thing. There's like so much more that goes into it that as much as you can nerd out on your pack out, you can nerd out on the Google Maps and and all that first, before you even get to the packing out.
Yeah.
So.
And that it's like it's a very deep well of learning curve, and it really only reveals how the depth the more you do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you mentioned like specifically like, oh yeah, we can do this many miles a day. Like the next trip we did, it was, I think, chronologically, the first year I did Sturgis, I brought my Sportster, and it was around the summertime. My buddy Ref, he's a teacher, so it worked out to like, all right, dude, I'm done with my shift at Sturgis, and he's like, okay, well, I have this concert that I want to go to. It's like a music festival in San Francisco. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna ride up there, and you come meet me, and then we ride up to Crater Lake. I'm like, okay, that sounds fucking sick. So I fucking did like 16 hours from Sturgis to Reno, and then like slept like 4 hours, and then drove to.
On the Sporty?
No, in the van. The Sporty was in the back of the Tiger van. Yeah. No, that would have been
gnarly.
Yeah, that's not it. I'm not there yet. I don't think I want that. But so I parked the van in Marin County. We had lunch, and we were like, okay, off we go.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the map or whatever, and it was quickly like, we jamped up to 5, and we got to the camp. He had rented some like glamping situation or whatever, where it's like when someone's property, they got like a little
TP or
something.
Yeah.
And they had a shower. It was nice enough, and like, we had beers and thinking we'd like do the campfire thing. Nah, dude, we were spent. From going up the 5, and it wasn't like an enjoyable run. Like in that like stretch of the 5, there ain't shit to look at. You're going straight,
Yeah.
And we decided to do the 5 just to get up there. We didn't have a whole lot of time to do even a fraction of what we thought we were gonna do.
Yeah.
But that thing where you like, oh yeah, we can crush night 400 miles, no problem. Well, sure, but like how long is it gonna take? Just because this thing says it's gonna take you X.
Well, it's like the Google Maps or whatever is optimizing for driving, and most cars are going to do 400 miles on a tank.
It's different, yeah.
And you're going to do typically 4 stops. When we go on trips, even when we were all on baggers, we would still always stop around 120-ish on a good run. But sometimes when you get those rural areas, you have to do it at 90 or 100 or maybe push it to 130 something. But like I never do, and I have no desire to ride with people that are like trying to do 200 miles on a tank.
On intervals, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I want to enjoy this part, and I don't care as much about getting to the spot as I do about being on the bike today.
Yeah.
But originally, the first bike trips I was doing, like the first time I rode to San Francisco, we went from Dallas to Phoenix to LA to San Francisco, 3 days, and got fucked up every night.
Yeah.
And then San Francisco, we were there I think we laid over one night, and then we rode straight from San Francisco to Vegas, which was the worst ride. And we laid over in Vegas for one night, and then we rode from there all the way to Albuquerque and Albuquerque home. It was like an 8-day trip, nonstop miles. And like I got to experience that. I'm like, I don't want to travel like this.
That's not how I enjoy it. Yeah.
And that's the way a lot of clubs do it, because they have to go on so many runs.
They have to get there. Yeah.
That it's just like, yo, we're gonna take a picture at the state line, and we're gonna pass it all. Well, doing that kind of stuff over the years has made me want to go, off on the road next to it, or take another highway that's slower just to see things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, the second day on that trip, dude, was like, we still had to put in, I don't know, I want to say, I don't remember exactly, but around, I don't know, like another 130 miles to get to Crater Lake.
Yeah.
And from Crater Lake, like we get into the park and we go up the hill and we're thinking we're gonna get a hike in and jump in the water and shit. We get to the top and it's like, homie, it's like noon.
Yeah.
We're trying to get to San Diego tonight.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Wow. Yeah. That's
And
insane.
it's like, but just not knowing, seeing maps and like, oh, we can fucking do that. And
yeah.
it was fucking rough.
How far
dude.
did you get back?
I think we meant San Francisco. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's even still far.
That was far as fuck, dude. Because we're in Crater Lake, and the plan was to get to the coast. So that alone was like a stretch. And now we get to the fucking redwoods, and it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Now it's dark, and now we're stopping, and like through those hills. Like I couldn't tell you what it looked like. It was dark, but we're going through the fucking mountains, and I'm like hallucinating because I'm like tired. You know, it's like trying to focus and moving around and like, hey, dude, we need to stop. Like, okay, let's take a break, and we would break, you know, and like, it was I mean, nothing happened. We made it, you know.
Made it all the way back to Marin County?
To San Francisco,
Oh,
dude.
San
We get on
Francisco?
we fucking make it to the city and like, or getting on the bridge and my buddy was leading and like we would take turns and as we're getting, it's like, okay, fog.
Yeah.
And now we're trying to get onto the bridge and I just see his like little tiny fucking taillight on his sporty chopper looking thing just fade into the fog, dude. I'm like, yo, dude, stop! I can't see him. And like as this is happening, I'm trying to find like my headlight switch to like dim him a little bit, and it was just like stressful. And now we're in the city. It's like foggy, but you can kind of see a little bit better in the hills. And like we get to the hotel, and it's like just so drained, you know, so spent, and like we want to kind of like connect and discuss what we just did, but it was just like kind of check in, unpack, and like get to the room, like change and just crash out.
Yeah.
And the next morning, and this is like fucking 3, 4 a.m. The next morning he had to pick up his wife in the airport like at 9 o'clock.
Damn.
So we do that, we wake up, I ride across the bridge again to Marin and get in the van, I load up the Sporty and I drive to San Diego. And he goes to his festival with his wife.
Wow.
And his intention was to ride back. He ended up putting that bitch on a fucking U-Haul and drove back, dude. Like it was enough to like, all right, like now we know what not to do, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, honestly, if those are the kind of time constraints you had, you should have went up like the one from San Francisco and just do like Redwoods, Crescent City, Eureka, and all that, and then took 101 back, or maybe went more inland back. You know
Maybe
what I'm
enjoy it a little bit. But it was definitely a good lesson, you know, on how not to do it.
Yeah.
But it was fun as fuck still, you know, and like we get to look back and laugh about how silly we were, you know?
Yeah, when I was telling you about my trip going all the way up to San Francisco in like 8-9 days, we left Venice Beach, and we'd never ridden PCH before. We thought it'd be sick to ride PCH from Venice Beach all the way up, not knowing how it really worked, even though I was looking at the map.
Yeah.
So trying to stay traditionally on one all the way up was like, we spent so much time lane splitting.
Yeah.
We spent 80% of the daylight just getting past Santa Barbara.
Okay.
And then when we finally get to San Luis Obispo, the sun's starting, it's like golden hour.
Yeah.
And we're coming up on Big Sur, and we're getting like the most amazing sunset ever.
Yeah.
Like I'll never take away that one moment was made it magical. But then from San Luis from Big Sur all the way to Livermore, California, which is literally like inland and like even with San Francisco. It was like 4 a.m. when we showed up to our hotel room, you know, and we
You're here to check in for the next 4 hours. Yeah. Go at it.
And it's like, it's crazy. Like those, I mean, there's been times where, and honestly, now that I think of it, we misjudged like 2 trips to San Francisco.
Really?
Because the second time I went to San Francisco, we went up the opposite way. We like the way I went up, we did it the reverse way. And I remember my buddy Brad and I, we left Vegas after a fucking rager, way too late, and we were trying to go Vegas to the Bay Area, which is like a solid like 9 hours, 7, 8, 9 hours.
On the 80? No, how do you?
You take the Tehachapi thing and then you drop down onto the 99, or you keep going over to the 5. And I can't remember which one I think we opted for the 5 at the time, because the 99, from what I used to remember back, 10 years ago, it was always a rougher road to ride up. But I still have pictures of my phone of us taking pictures of my buddy just laying in the gas station, like taking naps, because it's like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
We misjudged the timing on everything.
But at that point, you just got to commit. You
Yeah,
know, like,
you're already.
What else would we get? Another hotel and like accept defeat?
That's the thing. We didn't have.
No, we won't.
We didn't have the money to do stuff like that.
Right.
Like we all put in money to go on this trip, and then we pre-booked stuff.
Right.
And then so we're committed to it, as opposed to now, we try to leave things like open so we can make those decisions on the road. You know what I mean? Because you never know. When you go to a place like Vegas, and then you tie one on. But then you have a 700-mile day the next day. That's probably not the best.
Whoops. Yeah.
It's not a good move, man. You got to learn it the hard way.
But you get through it, and again, not the right move, but you get through it, and then
Yeah, you did it.
even the day after, you're like, that was silly. Let's do it again. Or, it's fun at when you tell the story. It's the joy that you remember. You know?
We ended up catching. We rode PCH down, and we ended up getting down to Venice, where my wife's aunt is, and he was a Coors Light guy, and I was a Dos Equis guy, and it's just like we're sitting at her house in the front yard, and there's a picture of like a mountain of beer cans that just he and I had on the bikes, just kind of like taking the win, and then I don't know. I love traveling. I think it's one of the most rewarding things, but most challenging too, to figure out, to get out and do it. And you're kind of you started on kind of like a Sportster versus like I started on a bagger.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then I'm literally working my way backwards. You know what I'm saying?
But it's just a starting point, and it's not over,
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So, man, I like last year we put in some good trips, and that's what it's about, dude.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like I dealt with so many like bike issues with motors and whatever that like halfway through the year after I went to Bisbee last year with the best dudes, and we left San Diego. It was fucking raining.
Yeah.
The whole way down to Ocotillo, like, and cold through the mountains, and it was tough. So like, hey Connor, so are we leaving tomorrow? I was like, yeah, dude, we're going. Like, all right, okay, we're doing this, and but you get back and it's like, I was sick.
Yeah.
I was so sick, and the next trip I did was EDR, and dude, EDR is like, San Felipe is like 400 miles. It legit, like, I left my house to meet up with the homies. It took us like fucking 12 hours to get there.
Yeah.
Because it was one thing after another, but we made it.
Yeah.
And it was sick. On the way back, it was like going over the pass. That was probably the sketchiest situation, dude.
What was it? Just like weather?
Yeah, and ideally, I mean, what we did the first time we went to EDR is we went out to cross into Mexicali, and then you basically ride through the city of Mexicali, and it's a straight shot all the way down to San Felipe.
Yeah.
And then on the way back, that year, we decided to cut like through the mountains to Ensenada. So that way you make a loop, and it's you see more,
Yeah.
This year, that was loosely the plan. We ended up tying one on Saturday night. Like, it's a late start to the day. I knew I was going to run out of gas twice on the stretch from San Felipe to Mexicali, because on the way down, I ran out of gas twice. I had 2 bottles. It just wasn't enough. We siphoned some out of my homie's Dyna, and we made it, but delay. And like now we're like, well, let's get lunch in Mexicali. Okay. They have really good Chinese food. We should find the best Chinese food. And like just slow rolled it.
Yeah.
And being as hungover as I was did not help picking up any kind of pace, But we crossed into Mexicali. My cam chest kept cracking fucking bolts, so I'm leaking oil on the way down. I lost my rear brake. Gone. We were working out on this set of mids, like with a Loud House Custom. Shout out to Adam and Lane. But I was version 1.0 or something. So I only was working with a front brake. So we crossed the border. We bought some oil additive to thicken up and not fucking go up and dry and really ruin the motor. Hindsight, it was fucked up anyway, but so that another thing that slowed us down. And from like Calexico to Ocotillo, it was super windy. Like we knew there was going to be some weather up in the pass, and we're like, okay, well, we have to get to San Diego, you know. And as we're coming up the pass, like it starts getting dark now. We hit a little bit of rain. Now we hit some fucking thick fog, and like I lost my clears on the way down. One of the stops where we have to refuel, we may or may not have a case of beer, and we're having beers, and like I just forgot to put them back on. So, and I had to smoke face shield, so I borrowed some clears from Joe, and couldn't see shit, dude. And once that water gets inside the lenses,
it's done.
forget it.
Yeah.
And with the fog, it was just sketchy, dude. And like there was this part we were, I don't know, coming up on Alpine, and we were trying to stick together the pack. I fell back just because I couldn't see much. Again, that same situation where like the taillight just drifts.
Yeah.
Like fuck. Okay. There was cars coming by often enough to gauge where I was on the road, but you couldn't really see the dividers either.
Yeah.
And the occasional car that just fucking blazes by and hits their their brakes, and now it's like, oh, red.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm trying to go straight here, trying to figure it out, and then I end up drifting just enough to where there's an exit to what I see is like lanes splitting, like the exit is splitting in like that center pull, like whatever, exit, whatever, you know? So I'm like, oh shit, and like I grab a handful of front brake, my tire starts sliding like that. I stomp my right foot down and straighten it out and like slow down, like downshift, and like I was able to like save it.
Yeah.
But dude, I had to take like 15 minutes to like bring the adrenaline to like manageable levels. You know, like what am I gonna do? Like what? And just kind of like slowly get it together, turn the bike around, and I get back on the road. And then I get a call from the dudes. Like they got impatient. They stopped and I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. It's all right. We're on the side of the road. I get to meet him and like, what's going on? And I tell him whatever. It's like, dude, let's get off this fucking road. And and we were right between exits, and we got off the road and got into a gas station and trying to get it together, trying to warm up. Dude, it was so damn cold, and we're wet, you know? We were there in that for like fucking 45 minutes, just like dreading getting back. And at that point, from Alpine, I don't know, to my house is all of, I don't know, what, like 10 miles? I don't know, you know?
10 grueling miles.
Right, they were definitely grueling. Like the fog subsided, but then we picked up more like real rain.
Yeah.
And from that gas station, like everyone, like we split. It's just like fucking hammer home.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was the closest one to my house, and I had my buddy Patrick with me. We made it. We parked the bikes. We kind of just looked at each other and like sigh of relief, and you know, took off our wet shit and kind of warmed up. And
dude, when you're out in like you get this in the desert too, like when like probably when you went to Bisbee, because we dealt with it on the way home from here last we were gonna do EDR, but we ended up not going. But like in West Texas, it'd be crazy because a lot of the towns, you know, the distance between each one is like 30, 40 miles each one, and like, but it's such a vast area that like a storm can pop up out of nowhere, and the storms out in the desert or in West Texas they're thunderstorms. Like they fucking, there's red in the middle of them. Like,
fuck.
It's not a hurricane, it's not a tornado, but there can be tornadoes. And so I can't tell you how many times I've been on solo trips coming back from California or whatever, and just been on like, mainly I haven't had this on the FXR, but on the Road Glide, and I'm just like trying to get to the next town to find like a shelter just to let the storm pass or whatever. And it's like, you make it, but there's still 15 miles left. And there's like this, I remember, you're dreading it, but like it's gnarly, fucking rain. It's like if I pull over, I'm just, you know, like I'm not slipping around, and I just, like you're in your helmet, you're just like, you can't. I feel like Lieutenant Dan on the fucking, is this all you got?
Yeah. Ready, taking it. Yeah, well, you gotta, I mean, like you said, what are you gonna stop and just like now take it all, just standing there?
Just staring. So it's like, I think that the rain, typically when it's a thunderstorm is fast. Raining all day is not great, but a thunderstorm usually, if it has massive winds, it's gonna blow through, right? But like a full day of riding in windy conditions with like wind coming at you or cross you, it drains your energy so much.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't know, there's probably better like riding positions to like minimize some of the impact from not just a headwind, but like when you fucking get in, like it's not ideal. And when you're I remember that little stretch from Calexico to Ocotillo on the way back from EDR. Mm-hmm. I remember like fighting it like this and feeling how I drifted like sideways. So I'm like trying to hold it straight, but also trying to turn a little bit. It's just like, could it please stop? Yeah,
it's gnarly, man. It'll strain you. You wake up,
my neck,
your neck hurts.
Up. Yeah.
But it's like, I guess in those tough times, especially like when I'm crossing the plains, which is usually windier, and that's where your gnarly storms are. I'm like, man, people did this shit in fucking horse and carriage, man.
Yeah.
And I can't do it with an iPhone and a Road Glide. Like,
yeah, come on, yeah. No, that's good. It's important to have that perspective. I hadn't thought about it, but it's definitely true.
You know,
I will be using it to like get myself
justify like why you're putting yourself in this stupid position.
I don't have to do this, but I choose to do this, so I need to do it. You know.
I remember when me and Taylor rode back from the BRL, and we were headed to Palm Springs, and we were on 10, and it was just like the wind was kicking our ass. Me mainly because he's on the Road Glide, so he can he can push it up a little bit faster and like that
a little bit.
The FXR will go there, but it's like, oh man, like there's no fairing, there's none of that. Like I'm just taking it all to the body and the chest and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, but once you get off on those back roads, man, it's the most enjoyable ride, and that's kind of the point of like the FXR chopper and choppers is not to be on Interstate 40 and 10 and 30 and shit. So when I ride this shovel head out here, I mean, I'm nervous in a lot of ways because of that, because there's going to be parts I'm going to have to get on the highway. And out in...
There's some critters over there.
Some big critters moving around.
Mammals.
I know I'm going to have to get on the highway something. Like West Texas, the speed limit's 85. My shovel head's not doing 85 miles an hour.
You're going to be cruising at...
70?
Yeah.
15 under the speed limit? Bro.
He's going to be blowing by you, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm like, that's the only thing I'm worried about is like finding alternative routes to get off the highway. But even like the back roads are still, they're still blasting. And I don't have a mirror, so I'm thinking about putting like a mirror on the bike just for that case, so that I can keep an eye on someone coming up on me.
Yeah, get a mirror, you know. That's for the strip. You can take it off.
Yeah, I'll take it off once I get to the cool spots.
Yeah. The photo that we ended up using for that ad, I have the stem, but the mirror fucking fell off. And like that little bit that I ended up having to ride the rest of that day was like, and it's it's, I don't know. Was it chopper? I don't care.
Yeah.
Does it look bad when you have one? Sometimes, Yeah,
I think when I ride the baggers, I typically always have the mirrors on it because it goes with it. And even like the FXR stuff sometimes, but like there's some things that like really, if I'm looking at something aesthetically, like those kind of change the
It can
profile.
take away. I totally understand that. And I guess my concern is just, so far has been to just find one that doesn't look
that
ugly,
crazy. Yeah, I definitely need to do that. I'm excited but I can't wait to figure out what kind of mileage I can really get out of the gas tank, what kind of mileage my body can take in a day, and how I feel the next day. So I feel like I could probably easily do 500 miles ish on the chop, but how much is that going to beat down my body?
You won't know till you do it.
Yeah, and like I've already kind of mapped out. Like I've been riding the roads of Dallas for a lot, but now that I'm riding back and forth from where I live to Dallas on the chopper, like I know the lanes to be in. I know where the bumps are, the harder bumps that suspension would absorb. So it's been a learning curve and stuff like that. But
that's half the fun, dude. I mean, really,
if you're always learning, then there's always something engaging about what you're doing.
Exactly, dude.
You know?
And it just requires different muscles. And when you finally get to like flex those muscles, not for show, but like because that's the whole point, you know, then it's a kind of like full circle, you know, not that it ends, but like maybe like a spiral where you kind of come back and, you know, do another lap. And
no, yeah, 100%. Yeah. How does, you know, like since you've been, over the time you've been riding, what do you think is your happy place within the motorcycle world as of now? Like aside from the Law Tiger side of you.
I mean, get into ride and just like take the time to like commit to a trip, whether it's next weekend or a few months down the road, and like knowing that that's coming, and if it involves some of the good homies, like preparing and like just the stoke and joy around it, and then to get on it and do it. It's like part of what was really engaging and rewarding from the get is how like present you need to be to ride a motorcycle and not fucking kill yourself.
Yeah.
but it's almost like it allows for like an extended presence, right? Because it's not like just when I'm riding on the road, I'm focused. You know, it's like, no, like I'm leaving. This is what we're doing, right? And I can like keep track of stuff and take care of what I need to take care of, but I've allowed this time and I've committed to like get the most out of it, that it's just like the joy source right now, you know?
Yeah.
That's the main thing I'm kind of chasing, and there's enough things coming up that I'm hoping to kind of full circle with the role and some of the things we are going to work towards as a team and as a brand and with certain partnerships that like I may get to like work the Biltwell MotoFest in the Pacific Northwest. I forget exactly what they call it, but I may be able to ride there.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I'm working, but I just spent, you know, the last week on the road, and that's kind of the next. Probably we're at a good point where now we're turning into the next chapter, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because so much groundwork has been done. There's enough momentum to have it inform the next thing, you know. And like now that I've got a couple of bikes, I'm chasing certain things that are more intentional. It's nothing but excitement and just patience, really, to like be able to execute and multitasking. And
well, ripping up to what I mean, we were looking at the flyer over at Biltwell earlier today. I mean, you got a lot of cool shit you can see in between there, so you can really turn that into like a vision quest or
big time, dude. Yeah, for real, yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you, like riding the coast from San Francisco north up into Oregon is one of my favorite runs. There's just like really rad. I want to say it's in Crescent City. Is that up there? I'm
not sure.
Dude, there's this like steakhouse that's in, I want to say it's Crescent City, man. It's a steakhouse that me and my boys, we ended up landing in on a bike trip. Yeah, Crescent City. And once you go through downtown, it's like the whole city's full of tweakers, dude, straight up. But there's just like old-timey dive bar that we went in, had amazing steaks, drank a beer, and then we asked the bartender, like, yo, we're staying in like Gold Beach or one of those towns up there. We're like, do you know any cool spots up there, like bar or whatever? And she told us this rad little pizza spot that's a bar that like the back windows of the bar sees amazing sunsets on the coast. And Oregon's a little sleepier than like the California side of it, but it's got some gems in it. And the train's insane. And it's not as busy as like some parts of PCH because I think once you hit, after you hit Leggett, it's all 101. It's not the one anymore, you know? It's a main highway. But yeah, like Avenue of the Giants, all that stuff, dude, super sick.
That run on the way back from the Sturgis show I was talking earlier, like we missed all that, dude, because it was fucking dark.
Yeah, it's just
but, you know, whatever. We'll do it again.
Yeah, those things are pretty gnarly, man. It's I like driving through it. I mean, I did 2 road trips up to Washington and down the coast. One solo, one with my wife, and they're just epic being up there. And like I said, when I was driving, it was all kind of foggy and stuff, so that made it like a way different experience, which I was also in for. I don't know, man. Traveling is like literally one of the. I wish that shit was free. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Like, but I guess that's what makes it so like
Special.
impactful because of the work that it takes to go on a trip
Yeah.
and see this, and the fact that like the first couple times you do it, you're probably not gonna hit the nail on the head.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You got to really make it a priority to like go seek it, you know?
Yeah.
And if you're fortunate enough, and some of us are, some of us aren't, to like take the luxury of doing that, like, then find how rewarding that is, dude. It's like, it's like chasing that dragon, dude.
I associate it to like figuring out your sauce on a bike, that what makes you like your favorite. Like maybe you buy this bars or these bars, this seat, this exhaust, and as over time you figure out what is like this is my comfort zone.
That's such a good point, and it is where I'm thinking, right? Because like the version I have of the Softail right now, I need to change some shit because it works right here in between town. I can go out to Josie's or whatever just fine, but I'm trying to think, well, I like leaning back on the pack. I like some pullback shit, you know? So, but it's how am I going to spin it to not just put the old bars I had on, right? To like accommodate for like this thing that'll should work better for longer distance stuff, you know? So that endless kind of thing and how it informs the aesthetic that you like and your style, like that's where I'm at right now with that bike in particular, you know? And that'll inform the next build or the next project, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
You hone it.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, you hone it. Like I'm on my first chop, right? And I love a lot of things about it, but I'm really not going to know what I need to change till I do this first trip. And then I think that will kind of like open up some pathways. And I mean, I've been riding the piss out of it just to kind of get as many miles as I can.
Yeah.
To see if there's some things I can do to the bike before I hit the road. The only thing that sucks is like it has a back seat, technically. And what I usually do is like I go on the road and I'll fly my wife to LA.
Yeah.
And then she's in LA, she's seeing family. We come through, we'll hop on the bike and go cruise to, you know, Abbot Kinney or go hit one of the spots around the corner.
Yeah.
And I like being able to have my wife, like, I mean, dude, it's a David Mann painting. You got your chick on the back, you're cruising down the coastline. Like, that doesn't get old, ever.
That's it right there. It's one of the things to check off for sure.
So I don't have any rear pegs on the bike or anywhere to put her. My wife could put her legs up around me, but she's gonna bitch and complain.
Maybe we'll get some clip-on situation or something that's not super invasive, you know?
I say bitch and complain, but honestly, if I had to ride a bike sitting Indian style,
dude,
I'd probably bitch too.
On a seat like this,
this you know, literally a tampon.
Yeah. That was so with my girl, like she rode on the Softail in this version, and it's a whatever Lapera Scorpion seat, I think it's called. So it's somewhat cushy, but it's like 4 inches wide, you know. And we went out, I don't know, like to dinner one night, and it's like that was doable, but not enjoyable, homie. Like we're not gonna go to fucking Josie's like that. So I get it. I didn't expect you to, you know. And with the FXR and that trip we were talking about earlier to the Sierras for the slow ride. We left in the morning and she left in the evening when she got off work. She drove, and then for the next 3 days, we rode around the Sierras.
Oh, that's rad. She got to ride with you?
And that was so sick, dude, because the FXR, you know, it's got the leather post, it's got a tour pack, it's got a fucking sissy bar with like a backrest and shit. And like, the couple of times we rode together, like, she's right here, and like every time I stop, like her helmet would bang me. It's like, this is cool, but not it, you know? So from going to the little bit of that to like, now we're in the fucking Sierras, you know, we're up here, and like, she's just leaning back, dude, chilling. And dude, it was so sick. Like, and that bike is up on the lift right now because we're working some shit out, but like, as much as I want to ride it with her, you know, and like, you know, what's up, date night, let's go, Oh, it's Sunday, we were done with our chores or whatever, let's go up to Oceanside, but we'll take the coast, you know, that type of stuff to like,
it'd be good. I mean,
bring her in, you know?
I mean, it would be sick. I would love to have a real road trip with my wife on the bike and whatnot. And I know that there would have to be some sessions that I make for her comfort.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean? And I think that at some point, if I ever get financially to a point where I could afford to take more time off,
Yeah.
to do less distance, it would make sense. But being in Dallas, it's just grueling to get to California.
Right, dude.
So whether, and I mean, I can go as slow and take it chill as I want, but
Yeah.
like we talked about earlier, the fog days, the
Right.
wind days,
Dude, that's
the
it.
rain days. It's just like those are the ones where it's like she's not gonna think of it as a vacation.
No, dude. It's really not, and,
Yeah.
and you can try to prepare someone for that, but it's not gonna be chill,
Yeah.
dude. It's gonna it could ruin the whole vibe and fuck this. I'm getting on a plane,
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully not, but it could get to that point,
Yeah.
where you really gotta want the shit, and the alternative, which is kind of a tougher pill to swallow, is well, you can always rent a bike. We can fly out, and now you don't do it on your bike. Now you don't know it, and it's there's.
Well, the hope is like I said, when we come, I have full intentions of driving the van out here from Texas with the chop in the back for parts and labor next year.
Yeah.
And at that point, I hope to find a way to make it to where, look, if we can jump in Del Mar, if we can jump on the bike
Yeah.
and cruise up to Denny's by the sea with her on the back,
That's it right there.
and she can catch that sunset
Yeah.
and that vibe, that's all I need her to do.
It's so worth it. Just
Because
for
that right there, that sunset on the San Diego coast, it's just it solidifies this bike, all this uncomfort that whatever.
It's
you know what I mean?
the reward, the payoff almost.
100%.
And the sun sets every day.
Yeah, it does.
So you could chase it or find it elsewhere or take it all in from another spot. But
Yeah.
I like that. What was it last year after Born Free that we did that?
Oh, yeah, that
we
was
went and
sick.
sat there, had some good hangs, some good conversation. Look over, sick, and then you kind of carry on, and
Yeah, I try to be very mindful of that, and it's because of riding. Like the first time that I rode down here to do the podcast with LFG, when I was a guest on their podcast,
shout out to the boys.
me and my boy Dragon Jaden, we were cruising down the coast of we got off right up there in Carlsbad, and just rode it all the way down to Encinitas, however you say it. And we just watched as all these people flocked.
Stop what they're doing, flock, and
Pop a lawn chair out the back of the Audi
Yeah.
and sit down and watch the sunset. I'm like,
straight up, dude.
oh shit, this is intentional. And then it's made me to where I mean, there's been funny memes where you walk out of the grocery store and it's this gnarly ass sky, right? Or you go to Pikes Peak and it's just a fucking no clouds, nothing. It's
Yeah.
just kind of boring, but just there's a feeling when you watch sunset over water, it has a different effect. I
Yeah,
think.
it's just so much more obvious, and apparent. And there, yeah, dude, you're here. You might as well take a few minutes to
Yeah.
Every now and then, my house, the windows right here face west, and
Oh, that's west right there.
so every now and then it's we're cooking or whatever, getting ready, and it's did you see the sky? And we'll take a moment, and it's not the same because you don't really see the sun setting,
Yeah.
per se, but
Well, this version of it, it's setting over the.
exactly from this vantage point. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I think that shit's so cool, man, and that's something that we want to be able to enjoy. I talked to you earlier about how the type of home or shop home that we
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
find out. We just want to be able to enjoy things like that.
Yeah.
And I find it. I don't know if the word is gratitude. I just find it to be. It stops you in the tracks, and it does make you appreciate some things.
What you got, where you're at, who you're with,
It's weird, man. And sometimes it's I'm riding on the bike west, and I'm blessed with this amazing sunset before I still have 250 miles left to
Yeah.
go at night.
Dude,
It's gonna suck.
On the way back from Arizona from the summit, we left, I don't know, at 5-ish or something, and we're headed west back to California, to San Diego. And we see the sun setting, it's in your face through the windshield. Not a big fan of that one.
Yeah.
That was a little difficult, but
Yeah.
you get through it and whatever. But intentionally, looking for moments and designing your surroundings as much as you can, or your life even, with like a little intention. And like I think that the ability to like make that part of your search and what you're seeking, like that cuts a lot of the noise, you know. And I like to share as much as I can, because I appreciate when information or insight or whatever comes this way, you know. It's special, man. It's like that exchange is so valuable, you know.
Yeah, my buddy, I think I might have mentioned you, Bruce. He lives up in Washington. He lives on top of a mountain, and he has vantage points from his property of like, I think it's either Mount Hood or Mount Adams, because he can see both from his property in different spots. But it's like he'll send me a picture in the morning one day, and it's like snow-covered mountain, and the sky's all pink and peachy.
Yeah.
And it, to me, it's like cool that he shares that with me, because like I've got to witness it by being at a spot. And I don't know, man, like my wife, she'll text me the sunset when she's at home. And I don't know, man, it's just a cool vibe, man. I love it. It's always been something that I got. As the older I get, dude, the more I look at flowers and fucking sunsets, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if my T is low.
I doubt it, dude. I don't know.
You know, I don't know what it is, but like shit like that's starting to be like, oh, that shit is beautiful, player.
Yeah. You know? I mean, dude, I think as an artist, you like, part of the seek and the search is to, in the process of creating, like, you need inspiration.
Yeah.
And you need to allow yourself to take the moments to like absorb it when it's right in front of your fucking face. You know, and intention, like lately that's been a big word, and you and I have used it interchangeably for a lot of what we're trying to express to each other, you know, because it's relevant, dude. And it's in the sharing that we've done over the past few days, like it is important, and it's gonna, I hope it allows us both to like continue the search, you know?
Yeah, and I think that photography, not saying that you need to go nerding out and buy thousands of dollars in equipment, but that practice is a therapeutic thing that helps people appreciate things in life. Because when you start to look at life, not from the back of a screen, if you look through that camera and you look through the viewport, it literally like it changes your perspective of things. And when you see your friends through it and you see the world through it, it really does kind of almost like block the noise out. Yeah. And I think that my process or my path in photography has shaped my appreciation for so many things in life. You know, you almost see the vulnerabilities in people, which then you can like relate to, you know? Yeah. People that you might have thought didn't have those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because now, if I ask you, look, can I take your picture? Like, how do they process
we all go to
this
our
moment? Yeah, like,
I'm trying to think of that look that I did in the mirror today.
Yeah, right.
You know?
I like my whole life, I've kind of like, it's like a thing, and just try to go silly, go funny for whatever reason, you know? And like when you kind of just holding it there, like, I don't know what it is. I'm sure we all go through like a version of it, unless you're like American Psycho, fucking, you know, just like, or whatever, you know? But it is a good way to like learn about someone in like an instant, you know? I don't know how much it reveals, yet it's like a moment of connection. It can be, at least, you know?
I think so. I mean, I think it's like, I don't know, this, you see yourself in so many different ways. Like the way, you know, like you look yourself in the mirror like, oh, sick. Yeah. Or maybe you're a psycho, but I get it, and I wish that I could be this way. It's like, you're like, just look, oh, yeah, cool, whatever. Or you don't give a fuck. You just don't care. Yeah. And that's, I think that's why we always kind of maybe, I know myself, like, there's something about someone that doesn't care that's like,
refreshing.
Like, oh, that's like sick.
Yeah,
like,
sexy.
I want to know how.
Yeah.
How do you not care? It's like you don't care, but it works. But I feel like if I don't care, it doesn't work. Right. You know? So it's like, I don't know. I've always found it. And I like through photography, you just find I think it's a good practice. It's a good hobby to have if you keep your intentions like you don't or not your expectations lower. Like don't buy a camera thinking you're going to be the next
Whatever,
National Geographic photographer of the year.
Yeah.
Just get a camera and capture your life the same way that our parents did and our grandparents did.
Yeah, and it does. Is it maybe something that because you have a camera on your phone, but it's not it. It's not what you're expressing here. Like there's a big gap there, and
I think that's too easy.
Right.
And I think that because it's so
accessibility
easy,
of it,
you can appreciate a camera phone, right? You really can. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that if you even if you got like a little point and shoot digital camera where there's some process of you taking that image from there to your phone.
Yeah.
That level of effort, I think, creates a little more value. And so those levels of effort, that's why like if you take a picture with film and you have no idea what it looks like, and then when you get the prints back or you get the downloaded or the scanned film back, you appreciate all the flaws, the lack of quality, the fact that maybe that really sick shot you were wanting to know how it turns out. It's little fuzzy, but you're like, that's what I got.
Right.
I love it. And so there's those aspects that like make the experience a lot better. And it's not that like, I guess it's kind of like the thing is like when you put a camera on your neck, then maybe an overthinking person like myself is like, well, I don't want everybody to think I'm trying to be a photographer. I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to capture shit.
Yeah.
And if I don't have the camera on me, I can't capture it.
Would you say you're a photographer?
Man, I don't know, man. Like I have in the past.
Yeah.
I have for the simplicity of not having to explain a deeper
why you have it with you
thought of
I see. Okay.
The problem is like the word photographer is so encompassing that the guys that I follow, that I look up to, the people that I aspire to be like, are in that same category when I call myself a photographer. So there's a part of me that doesn't want to call myself that because I don't see myself in their spot yet.
I can relate to something that I've kind of lived through and experienced. Like my father's a musician, like an artist. He like guitar, So I naturally gravitated to some of that, and like I picked it up and whatever over the years, played guitar on and off. And when I was actively playing in bands, like I'd have like homies that, oh yeah, he's a musician, and like,
yeah,
I didn't say that. Like I play music.
Yeah.
And when I thought about why it like made me uncomfortable, it's like, well, I don't earn a living. Like this isn't a trade that I practice, I'm associated to like that, or I don't read music. I'm not like a music. I don't know why, but like I think it's kind of similar to how you're dealing with this and being or not. Yet this is a way you express who you are.
I've on that note, because I think you're 100% explaining the same thing. I think that there's things when it comes to the arts that those titles are bestowed upon you, not self-imposed.
Yeah.
To call yourself like
or that.
an artist, like I even hate saying that. Like, yeah, I've done artistic things in my life, but I feel like in some aspects I have no problem saying, yeah, I'm an artist, but that feels so pretentious to say, right? I'm a photographer. That feels, as soon as I say that, it's like a burst of like adrenaline of all the people that I...
Like judgment and like negative things.
Yeah, and like I said, unfortunately, I think that, I don't know if it's associated with like being artistic or autistic or whatever the case may be, but I think that there's some kind of not
doubt or...
There is. I feel like it's indicative to a lot of different people because I think the artists that most people find to be the most impactful are also the ones that feel like they never made it. That haven't quite cracked the code, or there's something left on the bone. And so there's something left in them, like an overconfident artist that like thinks that everything they do turns to gold, and the banana that with duct tape is like my magnum opus. Like
yeah.
I just feel like it's an artist, a photographer, a bike builder, these are things I think are best to be bestowed upon you by other people of how they interpret you.
Yeah.
Versus like walking around and calling yourself that.
And I think, and when the work speaks for itself and actions speak louder than words, like you don't need to call yourself much of anything if you are what you know, what is
like,
shown
so,
through your work and your output, you know?
Yeah. So when you get in those random conversations, you know, I'm at a thing with my wife in her world, people that she knows, or maybe some of her clients, or just somebody in general.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, what do you do for a living? I was like, oh, I work on bikes, and you know, the one thing I hate saying is I do a podcast. I fucking hate saying, yeah, I have a podcast, because it's like, it's become a meme, right?
Right. Sure. Yeah. My neighbor over here has a van, and it has a sticker of a dilapidated sticker that says like, it's like a quote in quotation. I have a quote, and then underneath like everyone. So like that is a very like it's out there. That's a meme that's penetrated, you know.
100%. And so I find that like, while in some ideas or some like people's perspectives, there might be some things that I've done or had my hands in or created that people think are really badass, which I'm proud of a lot of things I've done, but you know, like it's also not one of those things like, I've been in a magazine, blah, blah, blah times. You know, I have so many followers, like these things that are like, again, kind of bestowed upon you are things I don't want to necessarily like refer to myself as.
Would you say that like an achievement is something that could be like someone like attributes to you? Like, do you find how does that like how would that inform how you communicate what you are, who you are, and what you do?
If a person, or I mean, there's people in the motorcycle industry or just in the photography world. There's people that I look up to where if I got some kind of attaboy from them, that would be some type of achievement or.
But was it the thing you did, or getting the recognition for it?
Well, I mean, it was the thing I did that ultimately garnered the recognition. So, and in the case of a motorcycle or a photograph or a body of work, in another way, like it would be a past tense, like that thing you did was really cool and I appreciated it. It was a good looking bike. It was a great looking photo. It was this. And those kind of affirmations are, you know, every once in a while, like getting one, you never know. Like that's why I try to do that a lot more. Yeah. Because I've had them happen to me at the right time that took me out of a bad place.
Right. And if it's genuine and it comes from someone you know, respect or admire, whatever, like it's like a small transaction almost, right? Because it's like, you know, this was worth someone. If the compliment is the currency and it is for this thing that you made, it isn't until that exchange happens that it's like, oh, this is really worth what he paid for, in a sense, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, think about it, like, we all see something that we like, and it could be as simple as like seeing someone that built something or photographed something or did something online and leaving a comment and saying, yo, dude, this thing is badass, you know? And to me, like, I try to be mindful of that because I can doom scroll and scroll right past things I think are cool,
right,
or that my buddies did or whatever all the time. But I try to be. It's a practice. It's a practice. Like it's not like I don't wake up every day and I'm the same person. I'm a version of them, and I have to be mindful to put myself to be the best version of myself. Yeah, you know,
that shit takes effort and constant introspection and self-awareness. You know, like you don't get to just say you're on this chase to be the best person. You got to do some digging and some work right after that. You know, otherwise,
and I mean, bro, every day is different, man. Like, you know, you catch me on a bad day, you're gonna get a bad
Sometimes I'm hungrier than others. Sometimes you know, whatever.
Like I said, there's times where I know that whether it's my serotonin or whatever chemical is like causing this like euphoric feeling. And I'm like on Instagram or I'm thinking about friends and I'm texting them, I'm calling them, I'm liking their shit, I'm commenting. And it feels good to do that because it feels genuine
Yeah.
at the time, you know?
And not that it's like a self-serving practice, but like to put out like positivity like that ends up coming right the fuck back, you know?
Yeah. Bro, check out remember I was telling you about my buddy, Promethean Liver?
Oh, yeah.
So he sent me a picture of his, he's building a Royal Enfield chopper.
Oh, that's
And
sick.
he's, like I said, he's an amazing fabricator. And he finally sent me some roller shots. It's so tough looking.
Whoa. That's freaking cool. That's the loop in the frame.
And there's a shock in the seat post. So there's like some kind of
Okay. A little tiny bit of...
just a little something to help
give,
out.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Nothing's tight.
So he actually drew a paint job on there because we're going to paint it. That I'm like, yo, this is... I want to do that now. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's...
stuff.
Well, that's a good segue into like, as you've kind of started to build a network of people, motorcycle related, like the gentlemen and the people that you've been introducing me to all weekend, how has that changed your experience on motorcycling, or maybe deepened the love for it, or how?
Dude, it's like the connection to it and it being like motorcycles it's just so much deeper, right? Because now it involves like friendships and respect and admiration and like collaboration with people and like this exchange of joy and creativity and it's just it's more special.
Yeah.
You know, and right now I have a really good like tight knit circle of friends that like it's kind of funny, dude. Like, you know, Taylor's a good friend himself.
Yeah.
He moved across the country, but we still stay in touch, you know, and he'll call me and like, hey, what are you doing? You know, and like, I'm at Gastown. I knew it. Right?
You share a location with them too?
I do, and I don't think he's cheating. And it's just instinctively like, I'm out there a lot. It's just down the road, you know, that's my boy, you know, and it's interchangeable with Loud House, and you met them both. And like those two guys, it's pretty sick because it's like, you know, Luke's my little brother, and Adam's like my big brother.
Oh, okay.
You know? Yeah. And we have this dynamic where like we have very similar sense of humor, and our like it's motorcycles, and then like if you kind of break it down, it's like choppers. You know, and that is, you think you're breaking it down and it goes like this, but really
it's mutual interest,
goes like this. Yeah, it's mutual interest, and you know, there's sensibilities that we may gravitate towards, like visibly or aesthetically, and we get to like, well, what do you like about that? Because it's not really doing it for me, and you know, that conversation is just like ongoing, and you know, the group text might kind of quiet down for like 5 minutes, and then there's a picture of a beautiful bike, and it's like, oh yeah, that's sick, or like, not for me, you know, and then it's like so revealing too, right? And it's like it tells you more about the person, right? Like, okay, by the 5th time I see an Invader wheel or something, homie's into Invader wheels, you know, without him telling you, like that kind of constant revelation. It's like, it's a way to like, I want you to get to know me more, you know? So that's endless. And right now where we're at, it's like, now we got to go get some miles in, dude, and let's plan a camping trip to one overnight thing, anything because we spent a lot of time I'm just gonna say each other's shops. I don't got no shop, so I go to their places and like I introduced them, I think, so it's already flowing, it's already moving, you know, and I think right now where we're at, we need to experience some trips. Like my buddy Rev, who I was talking about earlier, like he created this like almost like alter ego like online, and was like, I'm gonna go ride my bike and I'm gonna show people what I like about this thing without saying much, you know, just like showing it, you know, that it's kind of created this new focus of his that is mutual interest, And you know, he met some new friends, and like they got a cool little thing going, and I can't wait for the conversation that I have with those guys to
And that
get
was
rolling, you know?
the Chopper
Cali Chopper Collective.
Cali Chopper Collective. That's right. And
Yeah.
they're like, is everybody in there some form of like photographer?
Dude, it's yeah, and I don't exactly know how they all met. Like, two of the homies we kind of knew locally, and the two guys are from out of town.
Yeah.
I don't know how they connected, but I'm glad they did, because
cool.
it went from like my buddy's thing to now it's their thing.
That's cool.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's cool because he was open and welcome of like creative input from dudes that he gets along with, you know, and those things don't happen super often, you know.
What would that be like to start an Instagram page where you have like 4 or 5 different people that all contribute, like they're all photographers, and
It's kind of sick, dude, because this is very recent, and like I know my buddy Ref pretty well, to where I can see his style, you know, like I know him personally, so
Yeah.
it's almost like there's not that it doesn't reveal a whole lot, but it makes sense, you know, as it's happening. It's like, well, yeah, that's Ref, you know.
yeah.
Yet with these other two homies, three homies, like I know Doug a little better than the other two, so I already see, like I already knew his style in a way, you know. But the other two like are super talented, and it's just exciting to like see how the flavors are. They haven't listed the ingredients for the recipe, but there's a lot of ingredients here, and we don't really know what they're preparing yet, you know. But I'm showing up with hungry to the meal.
Yeah, I think there's might be something to it, because if everybody's collectively on the same wavelength, and they're showing their work and showing their stuff, but it just makes, it's almost like that's how many people you need to run a solid Instagram page these days.
You'd think it'd probably help reach some sort of like sustainable output with like, if there's a vision there, then you know what you're kind of going for. You can set common goals, hold each other accountable, and like, you know, well, I did it yesterday. It's your turn. So like, you know, it like alleviates maybe some of the pressure.
Yeah.
To stay consistent and beat the Sagra or whatever, you know.
Yeah. I did a hard couple of posts, you know, doing this whole like picking up the Harley and starting that whole partnership thing. And then I had a reel of me kickstarting a bike that like shattered all my dreams of effort.
Yeah.
But it's like I just kind of like I gave it a good push, and then I'm like, and I kind of like wanted that disconnect from it for a while, because, and this is probably the bad thing that I do, is that like you make a post and then I get addicted to where it's going and how it's doing. And because you have like, I think analytics, like giving analytics to you as a creator is a dopamine thing, and it makes you want to chase it, and it's like, there's so many numbers, and you just want to see them going somewhere upwards, and then it just like makes you kind of become a slave to it in a way.
It could get wrapped up into like your motivation to continue the search and like, you know, the work of putting shit together.
You know, I have this argument a lot with people about like making reels and stuff, and I know that it's a part of culture. It's part of Instagram culture.
Yeah.
It's a part of every platform now, right? So I understand that that's not going away. But like when you see like viral Instagram pages that have like reels that hit, there's like 40 to 400 reels that didn't hit.
Right.
And it's just like that. I don't want to go to the batting cages. I don't want to do that and just keep swinging and swinging. It's like I want everything that I make to be of purpose. And I think that's that's why I said earlier, I think that's what kills artistic creativity in some aspects.
Intentional doesn't have to be permanent.
Yeah.
You know, and if you take the time to think about what you want to put out and what you have to do so, you know, and it doesn't hit, and you got to be okay with this was an exercise and expression or whatever, and dude, virality like that, you can't back engineer that shit, dude. It's I don't know what are the factors for that equation. No one really. I don't know.
That's the point right there. Is that if I'm waiting on virality validation, that could have simply been because when I posted it was the wrong time, and there wasn't enough people that would have liked it, seen it. Therefore, it doesn't go.
Too many
out.
factors, you know.
So, in the sense of making a YouTube video, not a podcast, but a YouTube video about something. I consume a lot of YouTube, and I try to make something that I feel I want to watch, right? And it's not gonna, it hasn't hit that threshold yet where people have caught on. That could be because I don't put out enough to keep it consistent. But once it does, I think that when people start to find our YouTube and they go back, they'll see quality substance, you know.
As you say,
and vulnerability.
Yeah, well,
a lot of that.
that's definitely part of the sauce, you know. Otherwise, you're gonna have a harder time connecting deeper with people, you know. But as you're thinking of this, and I'm starting to like, is it like a different consumer? Because they're two. Or is it more that like maybe there's just two different mediums?
I think that most people have access to YouTube. They have access to all these platforms, but there's definitely a home for it, right? Like when I'm sitting on the toilet, Instagram is kind of like my scroll.
Yeah, quicker. Yeah,
when I wake up real quick, I have no notifications on my phone, so I have no idea when someone messages me. Yeah. So in the morning, I just check. I check the gram, see what's going on, see if we're in World War III, you know, something crazy happened.
Get the news feed.
Yeah, because if whatever happened is gonna be on Instagram immediately. So I can get a quick. I can hit 3 thumbs, bam, 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 and see what happened the night before.
Yeah.
YouTube is something like because when I work, I watch YouTube, whether it's podcasts, someone's YouTube video, or listen to music or whatever the case may be. I consume way more YouTube than I do any other thing. And I also consume Pinterest, dude. I'm on Pinterest a lot.
That's a healthy scroll. I haven't gone back in a couple years, but
it's intentional, like, because Pinterest is. I can't scroll it every day. I'm like once a week.
Gotta be in the mood or like.
Yeah, I gotta be looking for inspiration, but it does, like, when I do scroll it, I'm like, man, I gotta start dressing better. I gotta get my shit together. I want a house. I want this. Like, it does kind of, it gives me things to strive for that I find interesting. It's almost like I find that it's a good place to be.
Right.
I want to be inspired, you know?
Yeah, dude. Well, and that is it's like a perpetual search, for inspiration, and then the romanticized muse. Like, that's a fucking thing, dude. Creative moments, or moments of creativity rather, are like, they kind of come and go. And when you're tuned in and like you're really feeling it, like, they show up, and
they definitely do.
I was like with the scroll and how I'm right now, like I'm grateful that my girl beats me up about, like, hey homie, you just woke up, why are you on the phone? Like, let's not do that, and she's been very mindful and intentional about, like, I'm not gonna ruin the chemistry in my brain right now before I gotta get up and do, like, tackle the day, so I'm glad she keeps me on check, because there's, like, and then to top it, it's not just like she'll send me some shit, like some science, right? Now there's research on how this is, like, rotting your brain. And you get so many of those, it's harder to just, like, do it without feeling guilty, or like, really noticing the effects it has,
Yeah, I mean, that's what sucks about this whole scenario, is because there's still value in it. But I think we scroll endlessly looking for that
hit
crumb of value.
Right.
Because it used to be mainly value in a little bit of bullshit. Now it's a lot of bullshit, very little value. But I mean, think about it. A lot of us have been on Instagram, like, religiously for 10, 15 years, or almost 15 years.
And it's changed. The platforms aren't what they used to be.
But then again, so a better example, considering the fact that, like, the company you work for sponsors this podcast. With me not being on Instagram, that doesn't become a thing. Like they're not sponsoring a dude that has no social media. That doesn't exist anymore.
Well, you definitely are, and maybe that isn't part of the conversation and like assessment of value and opportunity because it just hasn't come up, you know? Like
Maybe, but like, I mean, realistically, like if you're not making some kind of content, like it's really hard to stay relevant as
Period,
a valuable
partner,
asset for something.
Of course. No, there is definitely a output is the principal thing here, you know, because otherwise it loses value, like you said, and you know, with this whole thing and just taking a forward-facing and forward-thinking angle or position most of the time, it's really what's informing the whole thing, dude.
Yeah.
Like if I like, sure, it's working now, but I know deep inside me, it's like I can't sit here and like A, toot my own horn or do the same shit I've been doing because A, it's not gonna work, and B, it won't be fun.
I could say this. So I started my Instagram page 2012. Yeah, 2012. And I had a personal Instagram page until 2015. Then I started my business page that I kind of maintain now. And I think that Instagram pushed me in a lot of different things to be better at things, to become a photographer, or to practice photography, to you know, to get into a lot of things because it exposed a lot of cultures, subcultures to me that I didn't really know existed. You know, when you open up a magazine and you see like the vintage chopper thing, like you think nothing of it because it's just like a random photo. There's no context.
Right.
You know? But then you start following a page like Chop Cult or something like that, or Dynaholics or one of these early pages. And then all of a sudden you start going like, oh shit, that's a now photo. They're doing that now.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't like a photo from
Like some
95.
relic. Yeah.
And it kind of opens your mind like, oh shit, where are they doing this? What is that? That looks fun. The same way you're talking about like maybe riding dirt is the way I felt finding the Dyna FXR in performance culture a long time ago.
I see.
You know?
Yeah, well, it's moving, right? Like it's alive.
Yeah.
It only makes sense that it will change, you know, and finding what interests you and like joy in it.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard, man. Like
search, you know.
I think that like a lot of bike cultures are very tribal. Not in a bad way.
Yeah.
But just naturally because it's a aligned interest. And I think sometimes when you are into this and you kind of like you shift a little bit and are into this, that sometimes these folks aren't willing to accept now you're not in
what you like. Yeah. I kind of decided that like the common denominator is passion, and there's just different pockets of passion, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's allowed me to like not be like, well, that shit's whack, because what you can't just say that to someone who's put so much into something, right?
Well, yeah, you pull up to the bike night, my bike night, T-Bar Tuesday, on a Shadow.
Yeah.
Well, there are probably going to be some jokes.
There better be some jokes.
If you got some thick skin, then it's going to be good. But if you're cool and you play the part and you
That'll
have fun,
show
everybody's going to be like, yo, dude, we don't give a fuck with you, right?
Right.
It's just that you came in here on low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
You know?
And we grab that shit. Cause it's
You can't talk shit about Bob on his fucking ST Road Glide, that fucking rich motherfucker.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because he may not buy you the next drink or whatever he's doing to like get in the mix, you know?
Yeah, or his ego is very fragile.
Right, dude. That's true. And I don't know, man. I mean, if this is like a vehicle to find yourself, you know, it could very well be that thing, you know? If this is something you get into because you need some new friends, then that's real.
Yeah, it's
know?
it's a viable place.
And there's like degrees of how far you want to take this, you know, and like continue to connect, continue to do miles in, or just fucking cruise on the Sunday, you know?
I mean, I've had plenty of friends that I still consider friends that have like traveled the country with me.
Yeah.
And have decided to go start a family, go buy a house, go do other things. And I ain't mad. I mean, I'm more like, yo, like that's really dope that you you got to. I'm just glad you got to experience this. And maybe after these paths you're on, you find a way back to wanting to experience this. I just
more than likely, right? I mean,
yeah, because I mean, bro, think about it, man. Aside from like the obviouses, you know, like getting married, you know, or meeting your old lady, having kids, you know, great milestones in your life, like riding a motorcycle with your buddies, whether you're bar hopping or not, you're gonna have some wild experiences. Yeah. And I guarantee you, you're gonna have stories to tell just by showing up.
Just by showing up and then going, dude. Because like it's like you know, you do a trip with a person and you get through it. Now you're locked. You're locked in, dude. Whether you carry this friendship further and go deeper, and you know through the years or not, you share that, and it's so special. And when it gets a little fucking difficult and dicey, like it's like the bond is tighter. Yeah. Automatically, dude. Yeah. You can't undo that shit. You know.
Yep. So how? I mean, I feel like you guys are starting to like have that with Law Tigers here, with the team that's been developed here on the West Coast. You know
dude, it's now it's on, and like if it's anything that I had much or little to do with, now it's no longer mine. Yeah. And I'm so glad that that's the case, because now I get to like develop my role in it, flipping the page to the next chapter kind of thing, you know, and playing another role. When I came in, like, I was fucking brand new, homie, and like I show up to our company summit that we just got done with, and like the first thing that was incredibly interesting to me, and like it's like there's like 30 some people here all over the country. We do the same job, yet it's the circumstances are so different. They're different people. Oh, big surprise there. It's a different state. Oh, another big surprise there. The relationship with the firms and the markets and the intricacies of like going, like there's dudes and dudettes that have a whole ass fucking state. Yeah. Like my market is San Diego County and Imperial County. Like a lot happens here, a lot leaves from SoCal in the form of culture and impacts things beyond the motorcycle deal, right? Yeah. But how does that compare to how Tanner Seymour is doing it in Minnesota? Yeah. How Ryan Richardson is doing it in North Georgia, and so on and so forth. It's like now I'm in a position that I've unknowingly, but now intentionally put myself in to like help and move it along and like contribute not only to the brand, but like the scene, the community, the foundational things that move it along for everyone else. Is I couldn't ask for more, dude. Yeah. It's so sick.
Well, I mean, you went like growing in this market is like going to biker school. I mean,
that's cool. I like that.
So, I mean, if you grow in every corner you turn on, there's bike related things. Every time you stop at the gas station, there's a couple Dynas, baggers, sport bikes ripping by you at the gas station. So there's like, I mean, you're going to school every day where there's markets that they could drive all day and not see a bike.
You know
what I mean?
That's true, dude. It's so true. And this is the one that fell, huh? Yeah. It's certainly like a unique set of circumstances and the right place, right time, maybe we'll call it.
Yeah, but it's also like I think we've well established that like everything has to evolve and change and modify, and you know the same way that before the previous conversation we were having, Instagram's changed, and we're having to figure out how to evolve and change to stay relevant in that market. I think that's something that like every brand has to do, and it's literally, I mean, you ever seen that thing where Nokia talked about we did everything right?
No.
It was like,
was it like some affirmation they were sharing with?
Well, it was like some kind of like, we did everything we were supposed to do, but we didn't adapt to the smartphone, and we now missed out.
Okay, well,
You know,
more
we
of a
didn't
revelation.
think we thought the smartphone wasn't going to be a thing. We stayed with the flip, the razor, that thing, or the Blockbusters, or the
CD manufacturers, or
everybody.
You know, I mean, change is the only fucking constant, dude.
Yeah.
And I remember like right around this time last year, we had our previous company summit, and I was fortunate enough to get recognized as marketing manager of the year. And I remember they put us up in a hotel that had a bar, like a nice bar in the lobby. So after hours, we're sick because, much how we've been talking about all weekend, like, this is about connecting as much, mainly.
Yeah.
It's less about partying,
Yeah.
And in a conversation, dude, a guy that's been doing it longer than me in North Carolina, Jerry Spencer, who's been kind of a mentor and like inspiration and like a grumpy old dude that like I really enjoy talking to.
Yeah.
We connected, and I think my second summit, we just like got down in the parking lot. It's like, all right, you like to make fun of millennials, let's get into it,
Yeah.
So we had that established, and we connected, and he tells me like into the night, it's like, dude, like he was stoked that I got it right and recognized that I was the one that needed to get it,
Yeah.
He's like, dude, you're not the same person you were last year. It's like, why would I?
Yeah.
And I think it helped our like relationship to like move along with our lives and this thing that we have in common and bikes and like it like the next chapter kind of thing, It was cool, dude. It was very special.
Yeah. Isn't that the point though? Like, oh shit, that
My neighbors, dude. I didn't see it.
That's the point, right? You want to evolve and change, not change. Like, change is like a weird word when you're talking about who you are. You don't want to change because that's one of those things that say, you've changed.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude,
but realistically, it's what we all need to evolve. I don't really want to be the same person in a lot of ways as I was a year ago. I want to be better at things. So in that instance of change, I have grown, evolved, and been better. I don't want to be like 1 year I was a Nazi and the next year I'm fucking like
exactly. It's
into black
not,
chicks.
It's not. It's not change for the sake of changing, dude. And evolving. Oh, what I kind of thought about like in the last week or so is like, yes, it's not change for the change of changing. It's progression, dude.
Yeah.
You need to evolve, and those two may be synonyms. Maybe I chose progression because that's
a good one.
It applies more to this and like evolving this fucking Darwin, like that's where my mind goes. So maybe that's why it was less resistance than some fucking other shit. And it was cool, dude. That summit and trying to like, because now like I'm 4 years in, I'm like a veteran in this thing, in this job, and in this brand, and it's growing, dude. And there's been growing pains when I showed up, and now it's got to catch up to what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's not so much with like how do they direct the whole thing. It's like actually we got to catch up to what they're doing, dude.
Yeah.
And how you interact with complete strangers that may think they know you because they see you and recognize maybe some of what you're doing. It's kind of a weird interaction. And especially when you show up to the room like, oh fuck, this is like my fifth one of these. Like,
yeah,
people look at me a little different, and like, I get in my mind about it, is like kind of shake that off and like, and try to be engaging in the room and like participate. Like, it's just it was kind of a trip, but mainly pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, anytime you get some time under your belt on anything, and you're doing good and things are on a progressive upward tick, like it's gonna feel good to go in a place like that. But like since I've been involved with, meeting you and opening my mind to this organization and collaboration, I wouldn't say that I've seen the shortcomings of it. I just see where
what it was,
and how it's, going, or it has been evolving, or, progressing. And it's just it's a good thing to do that. Like, obviously there, when it comes to business, there's a lot of very important things that I think that we all probably hold on to in a sense of like, how long or when can I, or when should I, or should I at all let go of this, adopt something new, modify it, change it, whatever. Like, I can imagine there's some like complicated decisions to make in a lot of those areas. And, like with the advent of the internet, I mean, look, not to throw any shade at it, but like, it's not that I think that the organization is trying to adapt to social media or TikTok. It's literally trying to adapt to social media. It's not a form of social media. It's the entire thing.
Yeah.
From going from, swinging doors, which is definitely still a viable thing.
Yeah.
To like maybe some of the stuff that like our buddy Taylor is like figuring out that there's not enough bike shops, but there's bike related things that I can kind of push myself into.
Dude, and if you get beat up with this is the way to do it, you might miss those opportunities or not be able to recognize them, and it's hard, man. Like innovation by nature is disruptive. Because otherwise it doesn't like provide an opportunity to progress the thing, right?
Yeah, change is uncomfortable.
Dude, always. But if you embrace change, it being the only constant, then maybe you can get a little comfortable with like, you know what, I'm shedding my old skin. I'm not trying to plateau. I want to get the shit done because there's a lot of it. A lot of it will be fulfilling to me, contributing to the brand and the scene and everything else involved with my daily life is important to me. So let's chase that dragon,
Yeah, and if you are fulfilled and you feel content with like what you're doing every day, then you're going to do it with a different passion and commitment and connection to it than if you feel like you like. It's like the job with like nobody wants to be micromanaged, right?
No.
Not grown-ups, not professionals.
Nah.
Not, like, I want to be trusted that I have the integrity and the know-how to do the job that you hired me to do. And that I have the utmost intentions of doing the best job possible.
I think now and as an adult that's 37 years old in this place, like, I can be led. Like, I'll get behind some shit and I'll get some shit done. But I can't do that if you think you need to micromanage me and that's the way you lead me. It's not gonna jive, dude. And it's been like fighting rigidity in general is difficult.
Leading leaders is a certain type of skill. Leading sheep is not that hard.
Herding sheep,
yeah. And ultimately, like, you want everybody, I mean, every one of you guys in your markets are the leaders of your market, right?
Dude, and to go deeper with that, I am the brand. Like, I am becoming the version of myself that wears this thing and does it so well because, like, I've kind of stepped into it and growing into it, Sure, there's a distinction because there is an individual that puts it on and goes like this and walks into places, but like now I do it in a way that if you can get it to become like seamless and you understand it and initially like to this day in some conversations, in some circles, I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm the Lot Tigers guy. It's like I haven't found a way to introduce it, to really reflect that transformation and the impact that can do, right? And it has less to do with like the message of the copy or the ad, and more to do with like the impact and the impact that it can have on things with people and brands and connection and recognition. Like it's the bulldog out there.
Oh,
That one's inside the house and not over the fence.
sounded big, but no, I get what you're saying. So it's like, how do you that first introductory line that it's the pickup line, right?
Yeah.
You know, like how do you
icebreaker? Yeah.
Yeah, you walk into a rogue shop you haven't talked to, you haven't made an introduction. You know, you walk in, there's a lot of iron crosses everywhere on the wall. You know, so it can be maybe intimidating. It's not the right word, but it can just be hard to figure out how to
read the room.
Yeah, and you know, like.
I immediately saw him in the shop. Dude, that happens for sure. But I don't know. Like if you can do that, then you don't need to ask.
When you start to walk in and you feel comfortable, I think that energy is read across the table.
Right.
And you're like, hey man, love the shop, sick. I love that panhead over there.
Yeah. Got
my own one too. Hey man, I'm Gabe from Law Tires. I love this.
Yeah.
And man, can I drop some stuff off? You know, you guys need some gloves. You need some donuts next week.
Dude,
let me come through.
That's and personally for me right now, it's hard to look back and think of how I could have done those first few steps better. Because I managed and now it's less. Sure, are there maybe a few shops that I haven't gone that are new that just weren't in my radar? Probably, and I would go in and do that thing differently than I did 4 years ago. You know, and I think there's some of that still to do around here. And
I also think like finding new ways to implement the brand within things to be of service, but also garner the attention that you're trying to bring to the Law Tigers organization so that it can help people and be the first thing on their head when something goes wrong.
Dude, that's it. And it's maybe available to have that impact by like, dude, sure, the brand has been built on like, you need to go down for us to really show you what we can do, you know? Yet, that thing, I say us with the brand, but I have little to do with helping you even evaluating your case.
Yeah.
I have more to do with how this brand it impacts like riders, not just down riders, like riders.
Oh, trust me, like that aspect is like one of those things that's kind of easy for me to talk about because whether it's the podcast and the events that that Law Tigers as an entire corporation, or I don't even know if it's a corporation, but just the entire company is supporting, like in a lot of cases it wouldn't be there. You know, like you guys stepped up big for parts and labor this year. We're working on that old that old BF event. And, you know, there's things that I think that are very important for the consumer to realize that like you're not chasing the ambulances, you're providing a value and service to the motorcycle industry. And when in some cases, you do have an accident too.
That helps. And you often hear more about the ones that didn't go well than the ones that did, you know? Yeah. And frankly, you can't help everybody, dude. And there's a big side to the focus moving forward to like, dude, you got to get real insurance.
Yeah.
You can't just be riding out here with liability. It's so different than cars. And like, if you have that, then there's better chances than the professionals that are above my pay grade can do something about it in your best interest. Otherwise...
Yeah, it's either like you get good coverage or you hope you get hit by an 18-wheeler.
Right, and I can't be thinking of get hit by the right person, right? Like, I can't be riding...
Oh, shit, that's a G-Wagon.
Like, yeah. Nah.
Yeah, you got to get the right coverage. You got to be
Yeah.
dialed in on that aspect. And, you know, unfortunately, like, that's a part of riding motorcycles that nobody wants to think about. Nobody wants to think about the what ifs, you know. And, dude, as I get older, you know, I'm 43 now, going on 44. And I think the universe, God, Krishna, fucking all of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Because there's no, like, the stuff I did in my 20s that I survived. You know what I'm saying? I just, it's insane. The stuff I did before I got my first DWI, I'm absolutely insane that I'm still alive. And, you know, the thing is, as you get older, you really just get more to lose.
You really do, dude. That's great perspective, and I'm grateful that the opportunity to like change my life, and that's like period. Open up the motorcycle book, and now we're going this way. Wasn't until I was 33, and I got a lot of that, you know, shit out of the way, and made it through. And like now I can enjoy this where like there's less responsibility and risk involved, because like that's formative, due to men, to women, to people, to humans, you know, in like society and shit, like.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, there's, I mean, not to turn it dark, but there's the thing about motorcycles is like we've got a buddy. He was a homie. He was a guy that was at bike night. He was a dude that was at our camp out. He was a good dude, and he went down going on 3 years ago, still on a machine. 3 years on a machine, like,
Dude, they wouldn't be so fun and rewarding if they weren't so fucking dangerous.
Yeah,
You know, that risk reward ratio is
it's insane, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, it can change in an instant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's as simple as, you know. And look, I'm a huge hypocrite. I'm the dude that will 100% go have a couple beers and ride home. And I like that I can do that because it's fucking America. And that's how Daddy did it.
Yeah.
And that's how Granddad did it.
Yeah.
And I love that. But I also know the risk, and I assume the responsibility of that risk. You know, it'd be different if I was. It just wouldn't be. You can't take those risks and then blame the world.
No, and you don't have to do that to enjoy it and get all the joy that it provides. A lot of us who like are in it for the rest of our lives, dude. It's not.
The older I get, the less of those risks I take, which is kind of the point
a good
of like
sign of progression or
maturity.
Growth. Yeah, like all these things, you know, like it's sick, dude, and like to find people that you can connect within this thing. It's like it already got rid of some people that you don't want to deal with anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so it like the pool of connection becomes smaller and therefore easier to like connect with people, dude, and that's I like that, dude. I really, you know, I grew up playing sports and then playing in bands and that's what has been so like given me those moments of depth and connection and like enjoyment and presence. That's kind of what I chase with a lot of this, and being able to collaborate with people and work as a team. That's where I do my best work, dude. And like, I need that feedback, that constant feedback to challenge what I thought or what I felt, to then hopefully not be reactive, but like get an opportunity to respond and problem solve, you know?
Yeah, problem solving is literally one of the I don't think that you see it as problem solving when you're in your 20s and maybe even your 30s or something thing. But that's kind of what
reacting, homie.
That's kind of the thing that I said about you, that I was like, you know what? I think that the world, especially like when I say the world, maybe everybody in the organization wanted to know, hey, how'd you do it? You know, how'd you do this? How'd you become manager of the year? But it's more so like it's not a cut and dry. I turned left when I should have turned right.
Right.
It's know that this thing gave me a table full of problems, and I'm a problem solver.
Dude, that's a great way to attempt to synthesize it, and I think that's probably the best way that it's certainly been presented to me Because if I start thinking about it, I go deep and I get lost in the sauce. And
Well, it's
it's
because
hard.
you're trying to explain you're trying to explain the unexplainable, and it's not.
Yeah.
If you tell someone how you accomplish one thing, they might not have it in them to be able to accomplish it the same
dude.
way.
And circumstances aren't the same, dude. It's like I'm under no assumptions that like this thing that I did that I can maybe attempt to articulate is going to work in Alabama. Why would it, dude?
So that's why I've always felt like that in the case of what y'all do, it's about teaching people the problem-solving skills and problem-solving or problem-recognizing skills to know where they need to attack things.
And ideally, there's talent there, and you don't have to teach it. You just like fast-track it, and you bring it into what it is that the overarching vision is, and the list of goals that maybe that's what really is interchangeable within markets, and like states, and like, hey man, the goal is to connect. Okay, well, if the goal is to connect and you know how to articulate your thoughts, try this. Oh, that didn't work? Well, okay, why didn't it work? Maybe try this instead.
Yeah.
Or have you thought about this? And like that guiding quality of the teacher to the student, that's how this shit progresses, and moves forward.
Or just being willing to go back to the drawing board after a couple attempts to do something.
Exactly.
And then figure out something, or maybe taking more time to understand it. Instead of walking into every shop and see what you can provide, maybe you should look and see if there's a ride coming up and you can go be a part of it.
Dude, that goes a long way. And if you choose patience in this thing, and maybe broadly in the rest of life, if you choose being patient, for me lately, it's tend to pay off,
Yeah.
Like, but that's subjective.
Subjective, 100%. Yeah.
And if you can read a room, you can figure out how patient you need to be,
Well, I think it's clear that like you guys are expanding across the country. The Law Tigers group is progressively, I think trying to identify and be of service to each one of their markets. And I think that there's a good set of foundational values to kind of attend to, but there's also like you said it, after the summit, the goal is to push individuals to figure out what their market is and what they need and how to be of service to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to change the face of that organization over the years, I believe. And the way the public sees it.
Right.
Which is the goal. Like all the people out on the West Coast are like homies to the bike culture.
Dude, and I don't know why, but I had it like I heard it expressed in a way that I had issue with, and that was kind of like what they are doing is like they're hiring people within the community, and that is true. And I was thinking about this, and maybe I took like it bugged me because they aren't doing anything necessarily to hire those people. It's like those people are now interested in what this role can be, dude, and what it can become, and them actively and intentionally being a part of its transformation in the broader sense, and like, so that, dude, that's where we're at, dude.
It's kind of like the community wants to do this, like they see it as an opportunity, and to be of service to their market and to help people out when they have an accident,
Yeah, dude. Help people out, period.
Yeah.
Let's hope
On
you don't
both
have an
ends.
accident. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
It's like, just walk in the shop. Hey, I'm Gabe from Law Tigers. I'm here to help you motherfuckers out. It's like,
dude, it's enough of a change that it like can unlock so much, and I was talking to Taylor yesterday after I dropped you off and then went and got him and took him. It's like, it's almost like we need to redefine what it means. Like, what does grassroots even mean? It's like, it was like a good moment to like, what does that mean? And then like try to digest it, and in about 24 hours, it's like, dude, it's what we've been doing it like unknowingly. Like what we've been doing is redefining it.
Yeah.
Now we need to put a little intention in how we continue to do it, and also track it and show it and like make sure that it's happening, you know?
Yeah, grassroots is grassroots is like one of those like
blanket terms. Almost.
Yeah, it's like something that gets thrown around at board meetings and you know, yo, we need to get back to the grassroots.
Yeah.
These words that feel good because we have an understanding of what they mean, but we don't always know what they mean in the context of what we're talking about.
Right, it gets kind of loose. You know,
and it's like, define that. And it's like, when you just said
well,
it,
grassroots, like, you know, it's grassroots.
Yeah, we're going back, we're going to camp in the grass, you know? Well, I guess going back to basics is what grassroots is, right? It's stripping away all the things that it's become and going back to ground zero and starting over, which is not a bad thing. It's just it's a reset that you have to do. The bike scene and culture does that normally.
Frequently, yeah.
It's like, we're going to follow this trend of bikes that seems very grassroots right now, and then it turns into 37-inch front wheels and, you know, a trailer with speakers behind it. And I'm like, all right, well, now we've lost touch with this. Let's go back to grassroots, which is FXR dudes, Dyna dudes, and Born Free people out there having a good time. And let's follow this because they're more connected to motorcycles now.
It's like it eats itself in a way, you know, but that's it's necessary because otherwise, like it could just end, you know. Like,
it's
what's the cycle that kills it all? I don't think that'll.
Yeah, unfortunately, like there's a specific type of individual that is designed to fuck up the scene.
Yeah, but.
And I'm not going to define them on here because they also pay a lot of people's bills. So,
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And scenes, like, it all changes. It all has a lifespan. You know, it needs to be first and foremost cool, like genuinely and authentically, for someone to recognize it, and then want to do it. And that happens in increments to where like. It's moving, it's evolving, and then now now it's mainstream. Yeah. And from then on, you can count the fucking seconds until it's dead and it's no longer cool. And cool is like obviously a subjective term, but it's very real, and in its purest form, it's real, it's true. You know, it's like. I
mean, dude, we've seen it. Like Instagram has a documented. Like thing that you can go scroll back on some of these repost pages that existed for a long time, and you can see the progression of bikes go from, that's pretty sick. Oh, that's cool. I never thought of doing that. What is that? Oh, have you seen that? Yeah. To where you're like, I'm fucking done. I'm unfollowing.
This ain't for me. Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And it happens in every one of the cultures, unless the culture is full of fucking dudes that are like. Nah, dude, don't fuck this up for us.
And you know, in motorcycles...
Do you see that happening to the FXR community?
I don't think... I'd like to believe that it wouldn't penetrate, that it's so... I don't know what adjective insert there, but it very well...
I mean, I can't see... I mean, I could see... I think the wildest FXRs got was when we were panel painting them to the nines, you know? And I mean, some of the old school stuff, like all the Pro Street stuff, that was probably more wilder than what we do now. But I don't see them throwing. I don't know how that bike can.
Maybe that variable of excess and borderline grotesque will just not happen on that particular FXRs because dudes are pushing to then go ride them. You know, and if that remains, then it won't get grotesque with like the fucking trailer in the back and the big ass whatever, you know? Yeah. And to further cement that into not perpetuity because everything ends. Yeah. Is the deep and rich lineage and history, you know, and like the builders that
I think when you respect that, when you truly care for the history of things that you're doing, you don't want to be the dude that fucks it up.
Yeah.
You know?
And you can tell in what rooms that goes without saying, and dudes are doing this shit for real, like as an obsession, as like a lifestyle. It's like, this is it for me, you know? And I now that like I can come in and say I'm this dude from this organization with like less insecurity than before, because now it means a little more than it did back then. Like now that's who I'm after and who I want to connect with and see what sprouts. And at the very least, hopefully a friendship.
Yeah.
You know? Like we'll leave the business at the door. Like I've hopefully proven that like I'm worthy of a conversation, you know, with this thing in this place, you know?
No, 100%. Like I said, I mean, when I met you coming out here to do Taylor's podcast, which I believe you flew me out for, you know, it was like you know, it was like, oh shit, like, never done this before with, you know, like, we just, in Dallas, you know, not to anybody's fault that's currently there, but it just wasn't a thing that we never saw that around our scene. Right. You know, which in Texas, like, our scene that's reflects more of what's here is still small there in comparison, as opposed to what our scene is technically there is probably small here. You know?
Well, yeah, relative. Really. Yeah. It's, and dude, thank you for being so open-minded and like getting to know you better, like over time has been like incredibly inspirational, and how generous you are with like your time and your interest and your knowledge is like, just like, I need to become his friend kind of thing, you know?
No, we just hit it off because we had similar interests, and like I you know,
that was easy, but like seeing it happen, it's like, you know, I helped him with this, or he helped me with this, you know, like hearing that and just like, that was like,
that feels good to help people that appreciate it,
dude. Trust me, I know, and you help people hoping that they appreciate it, and it doesn't always happen, but I don't want to get to a point where like, fuck that, I just don't help people, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Even whenever I do get to that point, I still do it because it feels good, and you know, it's rewarding, regardless of whatever expectation I had on top of that service that I provided. I'm still going to do it. But yeah, like, you know, meeting you, hanging out with the homies, and the times we've hung out, like it's just easy. Yeah, you're like we were saying, it's like you're a good hang. Yeah, and to be a good hang will take you a long way in life, in my opinion. I try to be a good hang, you know. There's a level where I've drank too much and I'm probably not a good hang, but I'm trying to find that threshold.
We've all done it, and that threshold is a slider bar. It's not like it's not X amount of this or that or minutes on the clock. It's not, dude. It's like circumstantial, and I think the level of awareness as we grow older, like if you pay attention to that, it'll dictate how you can like continue this hang and make it fruitful and not like your fucking destruction, you know?
Yeah, I am thankful that I have maybe too much self-awareness, and that's probably why I struggle with like getting past things or doing things or growing to some degree. But like, it also helps me, like, you know, I'm the guy that can like really fuck up and be out of line and be disrespectful or be too much. And then the next day I'm fucking just distraught about it, and I'm on an apology tour, sincerely. You know what I mean?
And maybe you find out that it's a waste of time.
Yeah, to be that way in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like being I don't know, there's like an element of danger there and like playing with it and be willing to push it and like forget about it, or this is my ex like drink, like maybe it's never a good idea to then double down, you know?
Yeah, I gotta watch when I drink whiskey around certain people that
after
certain like, people bring a certain conversation out of me.
Totally, and where there's rapport there and like already some ongoing like common jokes and or you know like inside jokes,
or even a little bit of like a little bit of I wouldn't say trauma is the word to use, but like maybe there's been some things that we're still in the process of
working out
amongst a group of us. And that one person, when I see them, it reminds me of all the things that's going on in that group.
Yeah, some unresolved.
And then a couple whiskeys in, I'm like, you know what's really pissing me off about that other dude in our group?
Yeah.
Because he's the person I could talk to about it because he understands, And it just feels like, man.
Yeah, trying to untie knots when you're deep into the sauce is it's not the time to do it.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm guilty of getting carried away more than not once, not twice, like several times, and
That's a good analogy. Trying to untie knots when you're deep in the sauce. There
you go. That's a sticker, dude. We'll use that one later.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. So what do you, like, what's, as we move into 26 here,
Yeah.
I mean, we're literally, it's Monday of the second week of 26, dude.
And so much has happened already. Like, it's so crazy. I keep talking to my team and, like, to Dan, our regional, shout out to Dan Thatcher, you're the man.
Yeah.
It's been trippy, dude. I've been looking forward to the summit and then like back-to-back parts and labor for like almost 2 months and like getting through the holidays, which was like intentionally like having obsessed over it. I needed to like, okay, I need a break.
Yeah. This is mentally taxing, probably
Dude.
exhausting.
It was a lot, and it like generated like a little bit of a emotional roller coaster, we'll say, but I intentionally put a lot of pressure on the summit mainly, to like, I need to come back out of this like renewed and inspired and ready to continue.
Yeah.
Which in hindsight, it really did. Mainly because I got to connect with a lot of the folks that I already had a connection with, and we get to progress it and like evolve it and move it along. And then coming to Parts and Labor, it was the first event we got to execute now with Builtwell, and that thing alone and like accomplishing that, monumental. For myself, for the brand, everyone around it. And to be in the room, in that hall, whatever you call it, and like it being palpable and like feeling like, oh, everyone's fucking looking.
Yeah.
This is happening, dude.
Yeah.
This is so sick. And at that point, like we show up after a week of travel and long nights and like connecting with the team over there. I'm running on fucking fumes and overstimulation, homie. Like Saturday was intense and incredibly productive, and we barely scratched the surface. And Sunday I was spent. Like I had to step out a few times, because the hangs hung, And we did the thing, dude. And like I put myself there intentionally, and it was just taxing, dude. And like that was yesterday. Today's Monday. We had a good ass day, and like. What's next, dude? I don't know, but there's the conversation is ongoing, and the conversation extends now to more and more people with like a common goal and a lot of value on the table, and we got to convert.
Yeah,
we gotta. I think I'm confident that we will, and it'll just continue in this path that's productive and fun and Tiger blood.
Yeah, tiger. Tiger
blood. If you know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good year, man. I think that, I think Taylor, we were all talking about it last night at Denny's. It was just like, last year was a rough one for me. It's crazy that every year it's some of the best opportunities and best things that happen to me happen during the roughest times. And it makes it really hard to say last year was the fucking worst, but
that's lazy.
It is lazy.
That's as difficult as it was to like assume that you've gone through the worst.
Yeah.
It's so dumb, dude. Yeah. It's so fucking stupid.
It's like a challenge to the universe.
Yeah, right? Like, come on, man. Like, oh, you want more of that.
Yeah.
It's really what you're asking for.
But I think that, prospectively and at the age I'm at now, it's like I don't look at it as like the worst year of my life. I look at it as like the challenges that life showed me that exist. is making me rethink how I need to grow and evolve this year, so that those things are just like small tasks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And still steady growing this podcast, growing the YouTube stuff that we're trying to do, and further the skills in fabrication and customizing bikes. It's just a gambit of things that like I want to maintain, but also have progression in. But also like I didn't travel much on the bike last year, and that's probably one of my bigger goals.
That hurts, dude. Yeah.
To get back out there and be more on the road, but also like also find a way to have my wife involved more. And so being on the Road Glad's going to be a new, not a familiar place to get back to, but also somewhere that I hope that I can implement more with her.
Well, that's again that intention to make, because over the weekend you've expressed first and foremost the gratitude of this benchmark moment, in your career, and it's in your artistry and your path and your all of that, and looking for how to make that exciting, genuinely, because you did a lot on those platforms, and we'll call them the modern bikes.
Yeah.
That maybe more intentionally than subconsciously, you're looking to how to make this exciting for you.
Yeah.
And to include your wife in any kind of way, shape, or form, I think is I mean, we're getting to know each other better, and like that makes the fucking most sense out of a lot of the stuff that we've connected on already.
Yeah, I was kind of talking to the fielding guys. We once we finished that podcast earlier this morning, and that was kind of the thing. It's like to say that I'm not excited about this bike or to find what I'm passionate about is an accurate term, but not in a sense of like I'm not appreciative. It's more like, okay, well now I get a chance to be back on a modern bike, and I have a recipe that I figured out on the previous body style, which would still pretty much work on this body style. But for the sake of like really wanting to make this all feel new, it's like I'm trying not to do what I know to do, and to put things on the table like the color combinations I've been talking about all weekend, or trying to find a way to remove certain things about the way parts are, seeing what I can create myself, seeing how I can integrate certain parts together. Yeah. So I think, and I had a great conversation with like Oliver from the Cut Rate about this, because he also got.
I need to meet him.
I wish. Sorry I didn't get a chance.
No, it's okay. It'll happen.
Yeah, and talking with him, and he's one of my Mount Rushmore bike builders. So being able to nerd out with him in his booth for an hour and a half about, express kind of like my thoughts of what I want to try to figure out, and for him to listen and suggest things and whatnot, but also for him to tell me like his direction. Yeah. I mean, it made me more excited about it. You know what I mean?
And that was the goal the whole time, and how special and like really to have the ability to bring you out here and then share this weekend together, dude. Like, I'm fucking so pumped. I appreciate it, because I knew we deepened like our relationship. I knew it was going to be good for the brand, and I ultimately hoped that it'd be good, beneficial for you, and not just like beneficial to me.
Well, if we land that one deal, here in 27, dude, I think it would be a pivotal moment.
I don't see. I talked to a few people from my team about it, and dude, it's gonna happen. I just don't see a world where it doesn't. Yeah. It's what makes the most sense. Will I be heartbroken if it didn't? Again, I don't think it won't. Like it's gonna happen. It's not even. It's almost like not even an option. Like I can't put myself to like, well, it'd be bummed, but I wouldn't be the only one bummed about it. Yeah. That's what makes it so much more pressing.
Yeah. Well, I think both parties are interested in. I think it's just a matter of time, and like I said, as people find out what you guys are about more, in a face-to-face, open-minded conversation, I think it helps all the people come on board with what you guys got going on.
I'm okay with the fact that it took 4 years to have the conversations we did. Mm-hmm. I'm fucking perfectly fine with it. And now that we did, like, we have a little bit of time to work on the relationship and figure it out why it is going to happen. You know?
Yeah.
That I'm ready for it, dude.
Yeah, it'll be good, man. And it'll solidify things here in California and Texas for people that might be wondering how, like, little Easter egg there if you want to figure out what we're talking about. But, you know, it's just and honestly, it feels good on my end to be able to do that. To, you know, I have a vast amount of people that I've met over these years, and, you know, being able to put people together is a true, I don't know, it's just, it feels good. You know, we talked about that. It feels good to find commonalities between two people of needs, wants, desires, and help them come together to meet a goal, you know?
Connecting dots is I think, like a natural thing that some people have the ability to do. And then when you not run out, but like some of those become less apparent, and if that in it of itself is a search, and now you're looking for dots to connect, that's when you start like working out that muscle.
Yeah.
You know, and the networks broaden and the circles like overlap.
Mm-hmm. It's stoked. I mean, it's sick, man. Like I said, I have every intention of coming to Parts and Labor again next year, driving out here, bringing the bike, because I want to be able to roll the chop around, have some good times
dude.
on it.
Put it in the show, talk about it, like,
I want to have a booth out here. I've not done the booth thing much, only in Texas, and if I can bring my Texas vibe out here, which I don't know if I could, but if I can, I think it'd be...
The version that'll be here will end up here next year, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. So...
And that version maybe doesn't exist yet because it's not 2027 Parts and Labor yet.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I got to figure out my version for Born Free Texas.
Yeah, first things first. So,
not Mama Tribe, but Nitty Gritty and the other events that we're going to do this year. But yeah, hopefully, I'm optimistic, man. This is a good start to the year. Good opportunities on the table. Lots of great conversations that has taken place over this whole weekend that I think is going to open doors to help make it all happen. Make this year, where it needs to be, and help us climb out of this little metaphoric hole that we were in last year. And so I'm stoked, man.
That's important, dude. Let's keep it moving.
All right. Law Tiger San Diego, guys, right here. This dude's changing the game. Appreciate all
Thank you, dude. That means the world
everything.
to me, dude.
It's been a good one, man. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah.